Thanks, Adrian. Well, somehow we always knew it would end up like this. England against Spain in another major tournament final. The defending European champions against the world champions. There's never been a showpiece as hotly anticipated in the women's game as this one. Tonight, Spain bid to rule the continent for the first time. For England, of course, it's been a roller coaster of emotion, but somehow Sarina Wiegman's side find themselves on the brink of glory again. A chance to defend a title, a chance to become the first England side to win a tournament overseas. Echoes, yes, of 1966, of 2022, but this would be territory as yet uncharted in the great storied history of the English game. The Lionesses have made us dream again. Now, can they bring football home again? Plenty of England fans here in Basel, where the weather is ever changing. We've had sunshine and heavy rain, and now there are grey clouds overhead. And interestingly, England will attack the end that houses their supporters in the first half. So England will play from right to left, Spain from left to right. England, white shirts, blue shorts and white socks, and Spain all in red with yellow trim. So much adversity for England over the last 3.5 weeks, but here they are on the verge of writing new history in English football. It is the toughest possible test for Sarina Wiegman's team. She says it's all been like a movie. Will it have its happy ending? Let the drama unfold live on TalkSport. The Euro 2025 final, England against Spain in Basel, is about to get off and underway. And the game begins. England kick off right to left, and they go back to Hannah Hampton, the goalkeeper. Long ball up towards Lucy Bronze, straight from kick-off, then a clever flick towards Russo down the right-hand side by Lauren Hemp. Russo's touch is heavy, and it's a Spain throw on the far side there left, in the left-back position. 34,000 inside the stadium this evening. It is quite warm, muggy here in this part of northwest Switzerland, and Spain will take the throw with Olga Carmona, who scored the winner against England in the World Cup final 2 years ago. Hampton, the England goalkeeper, Bronze, Williamson, Carter on the ball now, and Greenwood at the back, Walsh and Stanway holding, James, Toon and Hemp behind Russo up front. Interestingly, James rather has started on the left, and Hemp has moved out to the right-hand side. So England playing, starting at least, former England striker Tash Dowie with inverted wingers. It is 0-0 a minute into the final.
I like that, and I said that actually before the show with regards to how isolated Russo has been, and how I would have loved the wide players to actually drift infield and look to combine with her more. So I like that little change that Sarina Wiegman has done.
I'll give the Spain side in full in just a moment. England throw in front of the England dugout. Big cross of St George on the top of the subs bench, and we are right behind it here on TalkSport, only 10-15 rows from the edge of the pitch. Hemp on the halfway line for England. Reverse ball hit high down the middle towards Alessia Russo, but it'll trickle through to the Spanish goalkeeper, Kata Coy, all in grey. Bache, Paredes, Alexandri and Carmona the back four. Bonmati, Guijarro and Puteas the three in the middle. Caldente, Del Castillo and Gonzalez up front. Spain, you feel, are the team to beat. Del Castillo on halfway. Bonmati the number 6. She is going to dictate the play. Tana Bonmati, the Ballon d'Or holder, with the hairband on in the middle of midfield. Spain's number 6. Back to the tall captain Paredes, and England know that they'll have to face large parts of the final without possession. They're going to have to sit and see what Spain can do as the Spaniards look to break them down. 2.5 gone, 0-0. Spain go long towards Gonzalez. Out comes Hannah Hampton.
Well, you can see that, Joe, straight away. Spain are pressing high. England are actually dropping into almost a mid to deep block, and that's okay. You know, that's Spain's strength. You've got to just own that and know that you're going to suffer, and then look to hit them on the counter and be a little bit more direct.
This is the 14th Women's Euros final. Spain here for the very first time, would you believe it? Great ball over the top by Williamson. Alessia Russo in down the inside right, into the penalty area. She shoots, turned away. James can't get there. blocked off by Batcher. What a stop from Katakoi, and then James denied a goal on the rebound. Good positioning by Ona Batcher. First chance of the final goes England's way. 0-0 and they're still on the attack. Stanway back to Greenwood, about 5 yards into opposition territory. Now Stanway further forward, another good reverse ball towards Russo, sliding into clears Paredes, and Spain cannot deal with it. Not a great deal of pace in the Spain back line, but here they are on the break with a brilliant little bit of interplay. Putellas nudges it over halfway to Carmona. Carmona is squared to Putellas again, middle of the England half, chip ball into the box, too long for Gonzalez. It is a goal kick. England 0, Spain 0, and here's the former England striker Tash Dowie.
Well, we talked about the weakness and his great movement, and the one touch ball in behind by Leah Williamson. Russo, great run off the back shoulder, and that is the weakness, the two centre halves pace. For me, it's the wrong decision. You're never going to score from there. If you actually say, I think it's Stanway, she needs to square it back to her there, and then it's tapping. So actually, poor decision by Russo.
Here come England again, great flick by Hebb. Bronze on the overlap down the right hand side. She tries the pull back, Carmona slides in to block it off. England have a throw close to the corner flag. These two the highest scoring sides at the European Championships as so far this competition. England have scored 15 and Spain the 17, and England could already be a goal to the good. One of England's finest days in 2022, to go with the glory of 1966, and so often throughout the course of this summer it has looked like England were certainties to go home, but they have dragged themselves to the final, and they look like Tash Dowie, they've come to play.
They absolutely do. They've been the best team in this first 5 minutes, and I think that's so key. You get the crowd going, an early opportunity, try and rattle Spain.
England nearly winning back half the pitch again, and Spain are rattled. Guijarro, who's normally very composed in possession, has hacked the ball out of play, and England have got to throw on the far side of the field. Bronze with the green boots on, long towards Russo, trying to peel away from Alexandri, who slices the clearance awkwardly high up into the grey cloudy sky. The loose ball is then retrieved by Del Castillo, Spain's number 10. Early ball up there inside right, but Jess Carter, on her 51st England appearance, is there to win it back. And no question, England are the team on the front foot in the early stages, live on TalkSport.
Yeah, and I think it's because of the tactics that Sarina Wiegman has done with those inverted wide players. I think that's looked really good. You know, simple passing, keeping the possession well. I think that's really important that you have a good start, and England have done that.
Long from Carter, high up the inside left. Russo working the channel again. Paredes with a stab pass to Batcher, back in field to Paredes. The captain wearing number 4, and she goes back to goalkeeper Katakoi again. Paredes, who has spoken about Spain thriving on the pressure in occasions like this, as Carmona wins for the throw just over halfway. Spain playing from left to right.
And I think as well, Joe, Spain don't have a plan B. They're good at their plan A, but there's no space in behind at the moment for them.
Putellas looking wide left to Caldente, Champions League winner with Arsenal. Good reverse ball towards Putellas in the box, and out comes Hampton. Spreads herself at the feet of Alexia Putellas, seen as one of the greats in the women's game. And the England goalkeeper, all in green, has it safely in her grasp.
And you can see that's England's game plan. Compact the midfield, stop the best players in the world getting on the ball, almost force the ball out wide and then deal with it that way. And England have done really well so far with that game plan. You know, key players for Spain haven't been able to get on the ball.
Looking around the stadium, England have the greater number of supporters as well. Lots of noise from the England fans and lots of England flags all around this stadium here in Basel, St Jakob Park, the biggest ground in Switzerland. Here is Paredes on the halfway line for Spain. And now Patri Guijarro at walking pace in front of the Spain dugout, where the head coach Montse Tomé, a former assistant to the very controversial Jorge Vilda, is pacing up and down in her technical area. Sarina Wiegman with just caught sight of the England boss for the first time, about 10-15 yards to the left. Spain with Batcher, everybody back for England. Batcher with a high diagonal ball from right to left, and Bronze just has to nudge the header out of play, and it's a Spain throw deep inside the England half, 0-0, 7.5 gone. Spain taking quickly. Carmona delivers the cross, and Williamson is there to hit it away at the near post for England. Now the ball's bouncing around on the edge of the penalty area, hacked away by Stanway. First couple of nervy moments for England, but they dealt with it well enough.
Yeah, they clear it well there. What England need to be careful of though, Joe, is that they don't drop too deep. Do you see here now, I think for me, Russo has to get some sort because you can't defend like this for 90 minutes against Spain. They enjoy this. They're good at breaking teams down in a deep block. England have to try and press high like Hemp is doing here.
Hemp trying to force Spain back to the halfway line. Paredes then gives it away. Bronze in the right back position to Williamson for England. Stanway under pressure from Bonmati, but she turns away expertly. Walsh looks long over the top for Russo. It's too long. Batcher, formerly of Manchester United, is there in front of Lauren James, and Spain will begin again with their goalkeeper Kata Coy. Lucy Bronze, by the way, her 36th major tournament appearance for England. That is an all-time Lionesses record. A legend of the Lionesses, Lucy Bronze.
Yeah, and someone that I'm very lucky to have played at Everton and Liverpool. Congratulations to her.
England 0, Spain 0. Carmona's cross to Spain, in towards Gonzalez on the angle, and it's turned away by Hampton. Very tight angle, excellent hold-up play by Gonzalez. Spain have a corner 0-0.
She's so good at that, Esther Gonzalez. Her movement here, she's always on the back shoulder. She actually looks offside here in my opinion. But the pick out, she's isolated Carter 1v1. It's a great touch, really strong for the size of her as well. She's only small. You know, she's made forced Hampton into a good save there.
The World Cup winners have a corner. Alexia Putellas will take it in front of the Spain fans behind the goal to the right. It's poor. Drilled into the near post. Stanway chests it down and hammers it away for England. Now, can England get enough possession in the game? Can they have enough quality on the ball to trouble Spain themselves? We've seen sighters in the early stages, but Spain, you feel, are already settling down, and into that classic Spanish passing game they start to go.
Yeah, it is. It's two completely contrasting styles of football. England, you know, normally are the team that like to dominate the possession, but they're not going to be able to do that against this Spanish team. So they're in that deep block, the 4-4-2 almost, and then they're looking to hit on the counter. But that's what I mean. When England win it back, they have to keep it better.
Reina's stop here as Spain come forward again down their left. Carmona with a first-time pullback, and Gonzalez steers it wide. It's a goal kick. It's somewhat of a let-off for England as Spain make headway down their left, the England right again. Let's take you behind the England goal for the first time this afternoon and speak to our England reporter Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Courtney, 10 minutes in, 0-0 the score. What have you made of it so far?
Well, I think initially it was a really good start from England, and you can see what they're trying to do, be direct, and you know, when the ball into them is right, it is working. But for me, I think they're starting to drop too deep. England, you can't keep dropping too deep because you're going to leave Alessia Russo isolated and give Spain too much room to work. And as Tash mentioned, they love possessing the ball, they love almost trying to piece the puzzle and put things together.
And here they are with Guijarro playing a ball over the top. Del Castillo in for Pina today. That was a bold move from the head coach Tomé, trying to chase it on the run, but it's bounced out of play and goes behind for a goal kick. England, of course, 2-1 winners over Germany at Wembley so famously in 2022. But this, Tash Dowie, former Lioness yourself, is probably the toughest test that England have ever faced.
Absolutely it is. But they've been there and they've done it and they've beat this team, so that will give them a lot of hope and a lot of confidence.
Well, the ball is on the halfway line. Russo flicks it on for England. Toon is going for it. Hemp is there too. It's 2 against 2. Hemp to the edge of the penalty area. Works it wide. James is in space on the angle, but she can't control. It was behind Lauren James, who was in an offside position anyway. And that in itself is probably frustrating enough for England. 0-0.
Yes, frustrating, but I still like it. It's positive. The pressing is high. And then this is what I mean about those inverted wide players. Hemp then can look to drive in. I think that's a really tight one. I'm not sure that is offside there, but yeah, she needs to thread that through earlier. Good movement there by Lauren James, and I like it already that Russo's getting more bodies around her.
Well, Lauren James in a race to be fit for the final, and a race that she has won. Whether she plays 90 minutes or more is another question entirely. England 0, Spain 0 in the Euros final on Talk Sport. Cross from Guijarro for Spain. Es Gonzalez chests it down, back to Bonmati, edge of the D. Spain look dangerous here. Bonmati reverse ball to Del Castillo with a shot, and it's charged down by Williamson. Now Del Castillo again, trying to wriggle away from Kira Walsh. England defending the edge of the 18-yard box at the moment, and Spain trying to play through them. They almost have. Carmona's pulled back away by Williamson. What football from the Spaniards. But now Hemp counters for England, carries the ball forward with her pace up towards halfway, slows it down and plays it infield to Ada Toon again. But you can see that even in remarkably tight areas, Spain have the ability to pass it away from England and carve out opportunities almost from nowhere.
Yeah, they're so good at that. They're the best in the world at that. I have to give praise, Joe, to Carter there, because that was almost a goal for Spain, and she got her body on the line. It's a really important block. And who is involved the most? Bonmati. She's the one instigating. She's the magician. She calls herself a policewoman, always dictating and telling everyone where to be, and she's growing into the game.
Bronze though for England. Out on the far side, the right. Hemp is looking lively in the early stages. 14th minute, still goalless. Hemp's chip cross towards Russo. It's an early ball away by Paredes. Back in towards Russo again. Back to goal. It'll drop to Stanway with a low shot. And Georgia Stanway didn't really get hold of it from the edge of the D. We've seen her score a screamer for England in this tournament already, but she doesn't seriously test Kata Coyne.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed she didn't hit that cleaner. Yeah, Russo does well there, like any good number 9 should. Hold up play, strong, target player, laying it off at Stanway, and normally you see her rocket those top corner. But it's a great game of football so far, isn't it? Really end-to-end, both teams having chances.
That's the voice of the former England striker Tash Dowie on TalkSport. Good header away by Williamson on the retreat, and Bronze looks towards Hemp again, just shy of the halfway line. Carmona gets back, and it's an England throw out on that far side of the field. That three-tiered stand here at St Jakob Park. Now it's getting a bit brighter overhead. The conditions have been bizarre really in the build-up. The pitch is certainly very slick. Williamson's high ball towards Russo on halfway. Got a nudge in the back from Alexandri. He's not afraid of the physical side of the game. We saw that in her time at Manchester City. England's Alex Greenwood in the left-back spot. Infield to James. James stumbles on the ball. Manages to hold it up in front of Batcher. Goes back to Hannah Hampton, who'll clatter it high downfield. Paredes with a simple header away, but she doesn't really get much on it. Then that looked like a foul by Giharu on Stanway. Nothing given by the referee. Stephanie Frappard, the referee from France, very experienced. Hampton's lashed the ball into touch. I'll tell you what, Tash, for a second there I thought it was coming our way. It's a Spain throw.
I was ready.
You're going to hit that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see much in that. I thought it was a bit of a 50-50. Stanway normally enjoys those type of battles, and like I said, Patry, she loves those physical battles as well. And we talked about where the game's going to be won or lost, and for me, that midfield, it is so key that England do better than what they've done so far this tournament in that midfield.
Spain's midfield three considered the best in the business. That is a measure of the scale that awaits England across the remaining minutes. But a quarter of an hour gone, and Serena Wiegmann's team might feel they should be in front. England 0, Spain 0. Live on TalkSport. And the ball is nudged back to Paredes in the centre circle. A square ball to Batcher, about 40 yards out, central area. Good chip into the box, well headed away by Williamson. And Bronze has beaten Carmona, then caught by Carmona late. And I think probably sensible that the referee's not going to give a yellow card, but you've seen them give it.
Yeah, you absolutely have, and it's a talking to. But England look really comfortable structure-wise. They look a good shape. The back four probably look, I know we're only 15 minutes in, but they look the most comfortable they've looked. Lots of communication going on. The screening, I think, is really important as well with Stanway and Walsh. You know, to stop Esther, who's a clever player, always looking to drop into pockets and get on the back shoulder. So far, I think England have looked really comfortable.
The England captain, Leah Williamson, over a free kick, corner of her own penalty area. Hopefully the best is yet to come, said Leah Williamson in the build-up to the final earlier this week. This is Women's Euro 2025 live on TalkSport with McDonald's. Try the new Big Arch. Williamson's forward pass, 20-yard ball to Russo, not the best layoff. Del Castillo beaten to it by the slide of Walsh. I don't think the referee played an advantage there, but Spain have it back anyway with Alexandri on halfway. Square to Paredes. Spain 55% of the possession so far, so they are just edging it. Feels like they probably had more of that in the first 17 minutes. Although England certainly started quicker and brighter. But the game plan from England is to sit very deep. This is as deep and compact as we've seen England at Euro 2025. So often the onus is on them to create. Who knows, maybe that might help the Lionesses today. 2. Back to Williamson, edge of the box, and Williamson lets it run across her body. And now Carter will carry the ball upfield for England. Showed So much courage, Jess Carter, at this tournament. Greenwood's pass down the left. Stanway's heavy touch, caught by Paredes. Free kick to England, just inside the Spain half, right in front of Sarina Wiegman.
Yeah, well, what I like already is the bravery. The bravery from England to want to get on the ball. I think Kira Walsh said in an interview that they need to do that more. They need to be braver against this Spain side. And you can already see players wanting to get on the ball, dropping into pockets, showing. I like that a lot.
This is commentary number 491 of the season on the TalkSport network, and next season gets underway next week with the EFL, and then of course on the 15th of August the Premier League will be at the first game, Liverpool against Bournemouth at Anfield, live on TalkSport. TalkSport.com for all the transfer news in the meantime, and of course you can download our app. Paredes goes back to Catacoy for Spain. The goalkeeper's clearance hangs up on the centre circle. Lucy Bronze tries to nod it down towards Russo, who wins it back well. Off Guijarro, chasing back there Alessia Russo. James with the ball up the inside left, it's over hit. James hasn't really got going in the game as yet. A little leaden-footed. Now she's trying to put the pressure on. Spain go back to Catacoy. Under pressure, Lauren Hemp is there! Saved by Catacoy! Oh, England should be in front. The chance was there for Lauren Hemp. Brilliant goalkeeping.
It's brilliant goalkeeping, but this is what Spain can do. They can overplay, and this is where England need to press, and it's a great jump there by Hemp. And I have to be critical, she needs to score. No, it's a tight angle, the keeper does well, but can she look to try and nutmeg her there? Can she look to maybe cut in and then open the goal up for her to curl it far side? But England should be winning this game.
Alex Greenwood will take the England corner in front of the England fans who are on their feet behind the goal. Plenty forward here in the white shirts of England. Everybody back for Spain. England have sent everybody forward bar Jess Carter. This from Greenwood will be left-footed and in swinging. Here it comes, high into the 6-yard box, headed away. At the near post, Walsh retrieves it, pokes it back to Carter. Lip of the centre circle. Carter pushes the ball into the box. It's dealt with in the end by the retreating Alexandri. Spain win it back off James. Del Castillo scampers forward and is held up on the halfway line by Lucy Bronze. The chance is gone really for England now. And Spain looking to break. The one thing that you really must do against this Spanish team is take your chances. England hardly got any in the World Cup final. They've had 2 in the first 20 minutes of the Euros final, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, let's hope they don't rue those chances later on, because that is the thing about this Spanish team. They get their chances, they take them, and you could probably say England this tournament haven't been ruthless enough.
Caldente tapping the ball left and getting the return back. Gutierrez to Caldente again. Lovely football! Oh, and it's curled just wide by Caldente. Another example of exactly what Spain can do. So nimble with their footwork and quick with their passing. It left England mesmerised, but it is still goalless. Let's go behind the goal in front of the England fans and hear from our England reporter Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Wow, that move was just sensational. It's the opposite end to the pitch to me, but this is what I was talking about Spain in terms of how quickly, precisely they move the ball around the final third, around the box, and their movement to complement that. But Lauren Hemp does really well with that chance that she had in terms of sensing the danger, sensing the press that the pass is short, but she has to do better. She has to finish it off.
And just like Alessia Russo, denied by the Spanish goalkeeper. Bronze hoists a high ball forward down the England right. Hemp is chasing. Alexandri with a nervy back pass. Catacoy keeps her cool. Finds Carmona far side of the field in the Spain left back position. Carmona's early ball to the halfway line. Williamson is there for England. And you do feel from Sarina Wiegman's perspective that nearly halfway through the first half, the final, Tash Dowie should be delighted with the performance in many ways, but ruining the fact that England haven't scored.
Yes, she will be delighted, and I think England's game plan has been spot on. They've stopped the 3 best players on the pitch playing, which is the Spanish midfield, and then in my opinion the front 3 for Spain are good players, but I think our front 3 are stronger than Spain's front 3. I think we've got more of a threat going forward, and in my opinion we're winning that midfield battle, so all round I think England are on top.
Carter has missed a header on halfway. Williamson's got to get to this on the stretch, and she does. Beats Del Castillo, the Spain number 10, to it. Nearly 2 balls on the pitch. And Spain take the throw with Batcher in front of the Spain dugout, near side their right. Then Stanway with a venomous challenge on Batcher. She hurdles the challenger's Batcher and plays it back to Bonmati, right corner of the penalty area, looks towards Del Castillo with a reverse pass. James is there to shepherd it behind and out of play for an England goal kick. And actually, for all of Spain's deft touches in the final third, Hannah Hampton has not had a serious save to make yet.
No, she hasn't. It hasn't been connecting yet. The final ball, the final pass, they just look a little bit off, in my opinion, the Spanish. But it is amazing to watch Bonmati play. She's pretty much pointing to people and telling them where to move, and at the moment they're not on her wavelength.
Well, Spain have won their last 10 matches in all competitions, but the last team to beat them were England. Is that an omen for the final today? Carter's high ball forward, thundered down the middle for England. Carter for Morgan, the only change for England today. The likes of Kelly and Adjumang remain on the England bench. The finishers. England, you feel, will probably need them at some point. Alexandri, angled pass to the left and Carmona. About 10-15 yards into the England half. Back to Alexandri again, and now here is Paredes with that lime green captain's armband on. Bonmati just to the right of the centre circle. Further wide, waiting for the angled ball, is Del Castillo. Batcher on the overlap, looks for Bonmati. Good football again from Spain. Stanway gets across, trying to be as tenacious as she can. Bonmati turns it infield. Del Castillo evades Russo. Now sets up Batcher on the overlap. Dead ball line, back across, header into the net. Oh, that is wonderful. Mariona Caldente has thundered Spain into the lead. A move of pure quality and class. And for the world champions, the would-be European champions, that really was football that is out of this world. And England go behind 25 minutes in, and guess who's got it? The WSL player of the season just gone. Mariona Caldente with the header. England 0, Spain 1.
The scary thing is, Joe, you can see everything is planned. Every single move, every single pass. And I've been watching Castillo. She's been really hugging the touchline, almost getting her studs, the white on the studs, and then Caldente's been the one on the other side, tucking in and playing more as an inverted number 9. And you can see that they're trying to isolate Greenwood and Carter on this right-hand side. And they've done that. They've drawn them out, the little 1-2, the combinations, Bagier with the run in behind, and then it's allowed Caldente to be 1v1 in bronze. What a header that is. Brilliant play by Spain.
They lead after 25 minutes. England on the attack straight from kick-off. Lauren Hemp, corner of the penalty area, crosses. Russo couldn't get there. Hit by Walsh. And wide of goal. Goal kick given. Spain wanted a free kick, but it wasn't forthcoming from the referee. England 0, Spain 1. England have been the comeback queens of this tournament, and they're going to have to do it again in the final.
This moment now, the next 5-10 minutes are so key for England. You're 1-0 down, not ideal after 25 minutes against this Spanish team, and probably actually against momentum of play, unfairly 1-0 down. They have to make sure now they stay in this game.
Spain play the ball out of the defensive third with Guijarro forward at the edge of the D. High ball up to halfway, cushion header by Caldente, nobody tracking Carmona on the left-hand side. Halfway line she is, the number 7. Out left to Putea, early ball over the top. Caldente can't get there, and it is a goal kick. Well, that goal is a real beauty in the creation and ultimately the thumping header of the finish from Caldente, who was so brilliant at Arsenal last season and a Champions League winner against Barcelona. But now she scores against England, and the scale of the task that awaits Serena Wiegmann's team now feels even more daunting than before.
And to be honest, Joe, I'd love to actually know a stat how many goals England have conceded down our left-hand side, and Spain absolutely have targeted at that tonight. They have. They've known the uncertainty of who's going to start over a Carter or a Morgan. They know that Greenwood probably lacks that pace, and probably over half of the goals England have conceded has come from that side, and Lucy Bronze there as well. That's poor defending, ball watching, no awareness again. That's happened a few times this tournament.
Spain with the chance today to join Germany as the only team to hold the World Cup and Euros titles at the same time. Germany did it twice back-to-back in the early noughties. This Spanish team are probably the best of their generation. Caldente looks to put the ball down the England left. Bronze in the way, only momentarily. Carmona back to the halfway line and Alexandru. And now Caldente, the goal scorer again. Tackled by Hemp midway inside the England half at the expense of a free kick, which Caldente takes quickly. Out to the left now, Carmona. Three in the middle. Del Castillo tried to attack it. Header away by Greenwood. Crucial header away. Caldente again, left corner of the box, and Carmona's first time ball away by Williamson, and England are really on the ropes. England have got to get a foothold. And back it goes to Bronze again. She's under pressure from this relentless Spain team all in red, and Bronze has nearly lost it here. Bronze steers the ball upfield, Hemp can't control, and something needs to change for England, and quickly. They are 1-0 down on TalkSport as we head towards the half-hour mark. Here's the former England striker Tash Dowie.
Well, first of all, good defending by Alex Greenwood. That's what Lucy Bronze should have done. Really good defending header back post there. But what I'm struggling with right now is England don't have anyone to hold the ball up. Yes, the ball's into Russo. We talked about her being isolated, but when they get it, there's a lack of options. So sometimes actually recycle, just start again. I think we're looking to go forward too quickly, too soon, rather than like what they're doing now. Just keep the ball. Be patient with your build-up play and then wait for an opening.
Sarina Wiedmann watches on, near side touchline, arms folded as Hampton's pass out of defence only just makes it to the feet of England's number 4, Kira Walsh, up against Bonmati in midfield. They used to play together at Barcelona, but England cannot get out of their own half. They are pinned into their defensive third by the press and the quality of this Spain team. And Spain started slowly, first few minutes, but now we're really seeing why they have been people's tip to become European champions for the first time ever.
And they don't have many weaknesses. What I love about this Spanish team is they're best on the ball, but actually their work rate off it is so good. But their weakness, Joe, is in behind, and we haven't hit it in behind enough.
Putellas in behind down the England inside left side, trying to turn away from Williamson, and the England captain blocks off Putellas. Now Russo on the turn. She's tried to dart beyond Paredes. She's still well shy of the halfway line. Russo held it up well, but then the square ball wasn't a good one, albeit she was caught. And great hold-up play by England's front player, Alessia Russo, to draw the foul and win England the free kick.
Yes, great play, but where are her options? She's had the ball there for about 5 to 10 seconds and hasn't had any support. England need to get up. And Lauren James hasn't been in the game enough. Does she look fully fit? I'm not too sure, if I'm being honest.
That was going to be my question to you, Tash. Doesn't look to be moving at 100%. Kira Walsh down the middle looking for Russo. Overhit and through to Katakoi. And these were the big calls for Sarina Wiedmann in the build-up. And people are even talking about whether Greenwood should be at left back. Still a long way to go, of course, but we're yet to see Lauren James. For all of the gift that she's got and the talent she has, we're yet to see her really get into the game. 1-0 to Spain.
And I think if England do go and lose this game, I know there's a long way to go. Everyone's talking about Sarina Wiedmann being the genius, and she's done amazing, but a Stanway half fit, a Lauren James half fit, a Lauren Hemp's missed 6 months of the season, a Carter with everything that she's been through. There's a lot of questions that will be asked.
Well, England have proven capable of rescuing things in this tournament so many times. They're going to have to do so again. England 0, Spain 1 on TalkSport. Just over half an hour played in the Women's Euros final, live from inside the stadium in Basel, Switzerland. Grey, cloudy skies overhead. As Spain have it again, midway into the England half, and this has been a constant in the first period. Nearly 60% of the possession to the team in red. Ona Bacha for Spain, forward to Bonmati, about 25 yards out right of centre. Pass towards the right is intercepted by James, and England had to bring everybody, including Russo, back behind the ball there. Greenwood has given it away. Too much press from Spain, but Greenwood to handle it was 3 against 2 there from a Spanish perspective. Bacha out on the right slows it down, and Spain know that they don't need to force the issue, but they're so precise in these tight areas. This is where they can be really dangerous. They're so unpredictable. Del Castillo digs into the box. Carter gets it away. Reminiscent, dare I say it now, the pattern of play. Tash Dowie, former England striker of the World Cup final 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely is. And it's just the movement, Joe, the interchange, the fluidity. You know, no one has one set position. Everyone is so comfortable. And because they keep the ball, they're allowed to do that. And then their counter-attack with regards to how they win the ball back, the counter-press allows them to then attack after attack after attack. And they grind teams down, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
Out to the right-hand side from Guijarro to Batche. In front to Putellas. Back to goal. 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. England again with all the white shirts behind the ball, but they can't get it off Spain. Putellas with a driven cross into the area. Stabbed away on the volley by Carter. Russo beaten in the air by Paredes. Bonmatti's touch is so sharp. Again, the ball sticks to her feet like glue. Looks out to the left-hand side. Smuggled away by Lucy Bronze. At the moment, it's attack v defence. And England have got to keep themselves alive in the match. They're only 1-0 down. Plenty of time. But if they were to concede a second, then their hopes of lifting the Euros title that they are trying to defend here in Switzerland, those hopes will be severely hit. Bonmati, middle of the England half, square to Putellas, back to Bonmati, late challenge by James, advantage played, Spain work it wide right, Del Castillo, couple of step overs, low cross, blocked by Greenwood. Spain, a lot of their play down there right, the England left. Del Castillo one-on-one with Greenwood again. You fancy the Spanish number 10 to get the better, and she pulls it into the near post and Gonzalez is blocked off. Good work by Carter. England are clinging on at 1-0 down, and they just cannot get hold of it. Spain have it yet again. Does Sarina Wiegman have to think about tactical switches even at this stage? James is back. England almost with a back five at the moment, and even Russo is at the midway point of her own half, and Spain are knocking the ball about elegantly and with pace and at will. And this is irresistible stuff from Spain. Guijarro right corner of the area. Batche on the underlap. James got to be careful not to get wrong side, and in the end she just does enough. It is a goal kick. This is Women's Euro 2025 on TalkSport with McDonald's. Order the iconic big arch on the McDonald's app. Tash Dowie, I put it to you. Do England need to see some sort of shift tactically, or is this Spain team just too good?
I mean, Sarina won't change it. I personally am thinking maybe they go to a back three, a 3-5-2, you know, to allow Russo a bit more support up there, but also allow us then, if we need to drop into that back five, we can do that, but then you still have outlets. Right now, we have no outlet, and you can't carry on playing like this against this Spanish team, because, Joe, you made a great point. 1-0, that's okay. England have enough quality to absolutely get themselves back in the game. 2-0, this Spanish team will not let that kind of scoreline go away.
Now, the sun is out here in Basel. And Spain, as always, it feels like, in possession, leading 1-0, live on TalkSport. It's a microcosm, really, this Spain team of the football that Barcelona play in the Women's La Liga. And Spain reaping rewards for some very intricate interplay. Given away, though, this time by Alexandri. Hemp with a firm but fair challenge on Putellas. England have it with Bronze, just shy of halfway, as England seek an equaliser. Lucy Bronze, England's number 2, gives it away in a tight area to Caldente, but then wins it back on halfway, looks to knock it forward to Hemp again, and it's hacked into touch by Carmona. The last team to beat Spain at the Euros, having gone behind, were England in 2022 on that balmy night in Brighton in the quarter-finals. Gonzalez can't hold the ball up for Spain. In fact, in the end, she does, the number 9. Incredible strength and pace to hold off Williamson and then Walsh, and Spain go back to Paredes. Well, England know that they cannot really expect to try and play Spain at their own game and come from behind here. But something has to change. Yeah,
and it's something that England aren't used to, Joe, and it's hard. It's hard to be one of the best teams in the world, and 99% of the games you play, you dominate, and then to have to come up against a team, these players in this England team will not be used to having to defend like this.
And on the left-hand side, forward comes Carmona, the scorer of the only goal in the World Cup final, Olga Carmona. 2 years ago when Spain broke England hearts in Sydney. Out on the left-hand side is Caldente, the scorer today. England 0, Spain 1 on TalkSport. 8 minutes of the first half remaining, plus added time. Bonmati plays it square to her right. Batcher. Gonzalez, the number 9, is in the middle. Batcher holds up the play. Now goes backwards to Paredes. Alexandri. A long way out for Spain. Again, it's such quick football as they flick it out to the left-hand side. Caldente's in swinging cross, headed away by Williamson. England will have known that there will have had to have been long spells in the final where they would have to suffer, as is the modern parlance in football, suffering. And they're certainly suffering at the moment, no question.
Yeah, they are. I'm trying to think what Sarina Wiegman's thinking right now.
Olga Carmona for Spain, down to the dead ball line, chips in the cross, headed away by Bronze. It'll bounce down on the corner of the England penalty area. Hemp trying to get to it in front of Putellas, her opposite number, who plays a clever back heel to the feet of Caldente. They're in no rush here, Spain. They don't need to be. They could keep the ball for the rest of the match, you feel. Bonmati, again away on the dead ball line, in front of the jubilant Spanish fans. Lots of Spanish flags behind the goal. It's chipped in towards Guijarro. Alessia Russo is there to head it away for England, and it's hammered upfield by Lucy Bronze, and Russo has got to try and dart forward. Let's take you, meanwhile, behind the goal again, to our England reporter, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Is there a way England can get back into this? I wonder, Courtney, with England 1-0 down.
Well, it very much looks like we might be seeing Chloe Kelly very imminently.
We'll get more from Courtney in just a moment. Spain on the attack out of nothing. Castillo shot charged down. That will be a Spain throw. And Lauren James has gone down. And Courtney, it looks as though her race could be run 39 minutes into the final. And if that is the case, then Sarina Wiegman's gamble to start her has failed. And indeed, Chloe Kelly is going to come off.
Yeah, I just noticed she was working with the strength and conditioning coach really specifically. Even though there were other subs out, they were quite in discussion, and you could just see the type of warm-up that she was going through was different to the other players. And you're right in terms of that gamble. We were all saying, and I was one of those myself, if she's 70% fit, Lauren James, you take the chance of it because of the type of player that she is. But I think we could see from the off really in the first 5 or 10 minutes that she was nowhere near it, and it's a big, obviously, chance that Sarina Wiegman has taken. It's backfired on her to a degree now, obviously England being 1-0 down, but we know that Chloe Kelly can produce the goods, so it's great to see her.
England legend Chloe Kelly, Lauren James, treated by 2 England physios. The rest of the England players are holding an inquest in the centre circle, it looks like. England behind again at this European Championships. And here comes Chloe Kelly. Confirmation of the change as Lauren James goes off, and her tournament is over before the end of the first half of the final touchdown.
I mean, to be honest, I can't believe it, if I'm being honest. How can you gamble in such a big occasion? And I'm not saying that no one else would have done it, but I just think they're 1-0 down. Should you have started Chloe Kelly? Now, I am surprised because I think straight from the off it was very obvious that Lauren James was not fit. So why have you played her? Why have you played her when you know that she's probably not going to be able to last 45 minutes? But now Chloe Kelly gets her opportunity. Everyone wants to see her. She deserves it.
Lauren James understandably dejected. And England's super sub, their key finisher, is on, though much earlier than we would have expected. And Spain on the attack, Greenwood backing off. Bonmati, time to cross. Header wide by Esther Gonzalez. Another warning for the Lionesses. Spain still lead by a goal to nil in a first half that is turning out to be a disappointment for England.
And Adrian asked me before the game, would I have had Hermosa on the pitch or even involved? And if she's playing, she scores this. And I'm not saying I rate Esther. I think her movement's brilliant. I've loved watching her. She's top goal scorer in the tournament. But for me, she's not clinical enough. You know, she needs 3 or 4 chances to score 1 goal, and she should have had a couple already today.
4 goals at the Euros for Esther Gonzalez. Spain with it back on the halfway line yet again. England trying to come on the comeback trail. This is their toughest test by far. Carmona for Spain, down in the left wing position, blocked off by Lucy Bronze. England's fullbacks have had such a lot of work to do already today, and we're not yet at half time. 3.5 minutes of the first half to go, plus anything added. Del Castillo across for Spain, Williamson in the way. I think England are desperate for the half-time whistle now. Carmona level with the edge of the box. No lack of effort whatsoever from the England team, but Spain look too good at the moment. Guijarro blocked off by Walsh. She gets a foot on the ball. Goes back to Hemp in the right back position, angles the clearance forward to Toon. Rare that we've mentioned Toon so far today. And Carter forward to Greenwood on the overlap down the left. Good football from England. Actually, Spain have got one or two midfield players out of position as England work it wide to Kelly. On the underlap with the run is Stanway. Russo's in the middle, so is Toon. Stanway holds it up. Back to Chloe Kelly again. Kelly with the low cross. Toon tried to flick it goalwards. Blocked by Alexandri. Much better from England. As Guijarro clears upfield, that should be Williamson's ball. Cushion header, one bounce to Carter. Carter back to Hannah Hampton. England 0, Spain 1.
Well, straight away within 30 seconds, Chloe Kelly's had more involvement, I think, than Lauren James had in the first 40 minutes.
And here is Kelly again, raiding down the left-hand side, running at Batcher. Kelly infield with a right-footed shot, and it's wide. That is the threat that Kelly possesses. I saw her wandering around the pitch before the game started on her own, in her own world, looking around at the goal mouth, maybe trying to foresee what she could be brought on to do in an England shirt at some point in this game, and already Chloe Kelly looks one of England's biggest threats.
Yeah, she does. It's lively play, and I think the thing with Chloe Kelly is her footwork, her body shape, the way she moves her body. And actually there, I think she's probably disappointed in her finish in the end. She drops her shoulder, either go to shape it far corner, she's looked to try and disguise it near and has just not got a good connection there. But it's good, and England are finishing the first half the strongest.
Well, the question for Lionesses fans at half-time is certainly going to be about the team selection, whether Lauren James should have started, and it appears with hindsight that was not the right call. But he'd be a manager. You can understand the desire to get James into the team with all of the talent that she has. It hasn't paid off for England, but they're only 1-0 down. Gonzalez holds it up for Spain. Yellow and black boots on, out to the right, and Batcher over halfway finds Bonmati. She's blocked off by Stanway, and that'll be a Spain throw. Last minute of normal time at the end of the first half. We're listening to TalkSport live from Basel, where the Lionesses trail in the Euros final. The Mexican wave making its way certainly at the Spanish end of the ground. Paredes square to Alexandria. It's been an exhibition of keep ball from Spain for most of the first half.
And what's fascinating as well, Jeff, you see they have two sets of boxes, a box on the right hand side and a box on the left hand side, and it's all about outnumbering all the time, getting outnumbered areas, overloading areas. They're so good at it, the Spanish.
Thatcher, angled ball to the right, is overhit, and another pressure from Kelly. England get themselves a throw. Greenwood will take right in front of the Spain head coach Montse Tomé. Minute of added time at the end of the first half, confirmed by the fourth official just a few rows of seats down below us. We're right behind Serena Wiedmann in the England dugout, and there are more big decisions, yes, yet more, for the England manager to come over the next 15 minutes plus the second half, and maybe more. Headed by Bronze, out to the right for England is Lauren Hemp. Kelly is free on the opposite wing. There's a Spain player down. England haven't seen it. I don't think the referee has either. Caldente sitting up as Walsh chips the ball into the box for England, and it hit Del Castillo. Katakoy is there to gather. Caldente stays down. I don't think it's a head injury, and the referee hasn't stopped it just yet, but that might well do it in terms of the first half action.
I don't mind that though. That's what England need to do more, and they haven't done it enough. I say it, earn the right to play. You have to play ugly at first and then earn the right to play. And Lucy Bronze going up there, winning the header, then she doesn't mean to scrape down I think it's Caldente's Achilles there at the end. But that's what you have to do. You have to rattle this Spanish team, and we haven't done it enough this first 45 minutes.
Well, Caldente now on her feet, dusting herself off. We've had the minute of added time at the end of the first half. And that is the end of the first period. And England have it all to do in the final in Basel. Their greatest task. And if they were to come back, that would be the greatest recovery of all. But Spain have been the better team in the first period. Two very notable events in that first 45. Caldente with a header to crown off a wonderful Spain move to give them the lead 25 minutes in as they look to lift this trophy for the very first time. And then late in the first half, Lauren James taken off injured for England. The gamble of starting her didn't pay off. Chloe Kelly is on, and you just wonder whether England will live to rue the missed chances of the early stages when it was still 0-0. Russo and Hemp denied by the goalkeeper, and Spain at the other end have shown their quality. England 0, Spain 1. Well, she's a finalist in 5 straight major tournaments, so the chances are there is something coming. Big banner behind the left-hand side says proper England. We need more of that in the second half because England's title defence is under threat. As it stands, Spain will be European champions. It'll be Spain beating England at a major tournament again as the second half begins. Spain all in red with yellow trim from right to left and England from left to right. White shirts, blue shorts, white socks, and England actually playing towards the Spain end in the second half, although as I say that, I mean there are flags, England flags all around the whole stadium. England though with work to do, 1-0 down in the final. Mariona Caldente with the goal. And Russo trying to put the pressure on Bacha, who goes back to the Spain goalkeeper Cata Coy. Two very important saves early on in the game from Cata Coy to keep the score level as it was. Williamson on the stretch has hooked the ball back into her own half. We see bronzes there for England with the floodlights on here in Basel. The sky's a bit darker grey overhead. Dangled ball by Walsh is headed away, and Spain have it again. England with Hampton in goal, Bronze, Williamson, Carter and Greenwood, Walsh and Stanway, Hemp, Toon and Kelly on as a late first half substitute for Lauren James behind Russo up front. The England bench, Morehouse and Keating the goalkeepers, Charles, Mead, Letizier, Clinton, Morgan, Adjumang, Beaver Jones, Park and Wubben Moy. I'll give you the Spain side in full in just a moment. England coming forward on the far side there left. Kelly beaten to it on the slide by Bacha. I thought there was a foul on Greenwood in the build-up there. Spain counter anyway. Flag stays down against Gonzalez, though she looked in an offside position. Gonzalez inside right for Spain, into the penalty area now. Back to Putellas, on to Caldente. Can she pick a spot with the curling effort? It takes a deflection, goes behind, and eventually the referee does pull the play back for the initial offside. It is England 0, Spain 1, just under 2 minutes into the second half of the final, and here's the former Lioness Tash Down.
Yeah, I think that's poor refereeing there. I think there was no advantage with regards to us. We had a foul, and then there's so much more of the passage of play that's gone on when it was an obvious offside. So yeah, Lino referee there needs to pull that back earlier and allow the game to continue. But I'm excited, Joe. We had chances, we have big opportunities, so I think that can give England a lot of hope, knowing that there are weaknesses in this Spanish team. They will make mistakes.
That is the spirit. England are still in it. There is still hope. 1-0 down, and virtually the whole of the second half to go. Lots of spectators still returning to their seats around the stadium as England win it back on halfway. That looked like to me they're playing 10-15 yards further up the pitch to start the second half, England. As Spain get a throw on halfway. Cata Coy is their goalkeeper. Bacha, Paredes, Alexandri and Carmona. Bonmati, Guijarro and Putellas. The goal scorer Caldente, Del Castillo and Gonzalez are up front. Carmona, number 7, shuffles infield at good pace, finds Bonmati, turns away in the middle of the England half and looks for Bacha on the overlap. Further forward in front of her is Del Castillo. Del Castillo, the number 10, is on the ball now. Gonzalez in the middle, low cross in towards the edge of the penalty area, and Walsh had to be careful with Putellas on rushing. Hooked it over her shoulder and away from danger.
So calm by Keira Walsh, but also that's the awareness. She's someone that's always checking her shoulder, taking the picture, and to be able to control the ball there and then just calmly, obviously she turns the ball over, but to not just clear that first time. It's good defending, good positioning by her as well.
What a run of finals it is for England's senior teams, men and women. But once again, England behind to Spain in a senior team final. England, of course, hoping to retain a major trophy, the first England senior side to do that, and hoping to be the first England team to win a major tournament overseas. At the moment, though, it's not going to happen. England will go home as beaten finalists. 4 minutes into the second half. Spain throw. Ona Bacha, right-hand side, far side of the field. You'll hear from Sarina Wiegman, the England boss. Whatever happens, win or lose, here on Talk Sport after the final whistle. Spain have it again with Carmona. They can pass you to death, this Spain team. Caldente back to halfway, and Leia Alexandri has just left Manchester City to join Barcelona. Guijarro forward of the centre circle, out to the right-hand side. Del Castillo darts away from Georgia Stanway, races into the box, square to Bonmati, can shoot the shot in! Straight at Hampton. Similar position to where she scored in the semi-final against Germany in extra time. This time though, Hampton able to catch it.
And again, down the right-hand side, England's left, overloading, 2v1, really nice play by Castillo, great footwork to cut inside, and actually, I'm going to say Bonmati has to hit that first time. She takes the extra touch, which allows England to get their bodies in behind, and Hannah Hampton is an easy save for her in the end.
England with Greenwood in the left-back position, although England almost playing with Bronze in an inverted role at the moment. Williamson midway inside her own half. Long high ball over the top. Alexandria only half away. Russo gets in front of her. Heavy touch down the right-hand side. It's out of play. But you said before the game, former England striker Tash Dowie, that Alexandria is not without fault. She's capable of making mistakes. And you just feel Russo can get at her in this second half.
Yeah, if people can get her the service that she needs, she's an absolutely much better player.
Lauren Hemp tearing down the England right, pulling it back. Russo goes near post and shoots. Double deflection was backhand ball. Nothing given by the referee. That'll be interesting. VAR will have a look at it. Williamson on halfway for England. Out to the right and Bronze as play continues. Hemp on the near side, the right, and she's actually knocked it out of play in the pressure from Caldente. Tash Dowie, anything against Alexandri there?
I mean, I thought it was actually Patry. Handball here, you can see it comes up. No, it's not handball. I thought at the time it looked like it was, but no, good decision there, and you can see it didn't go to VAR. But yeah, Russo has to isolate those two centre-halves, and it's so frustrating for her because she knows she's got the beating of them, but she's not getting the service and the supply line that she needs.
Here is Patea, Spain's number 11 in the centre circle. Out on the overlap is Bonmati. Error-free so far, and Bacha skipped beyond Georgia Stanway with ease. Bacha crosses from the right-hand side. It's hit Greenwood. Comes back to Bacha. Oh, it's over the head of Bonmati. Drops to Caldente. After Bronze missed the header. Caldente's shot is saved. And England were taken apart there, really. Players diving in left, right and centre. I thought for a moment Bonmati was going to go for the spectacular, and England got away with it. They still trail 1-0.
Yeah, and I think actually Spain will be disappointed with the intensity that they finished off that chance with. You know, really lacked any power, conviction. Lucy Bronze mistimes the header completely, and poor finish by Caldente.
England 0, Spain 1 on TalkSport. Here is Ella Toone, England's number 10. Middle of the Spain half. Ball through the middle, nearly reached Stanway. Smuggled away by Paredes on the stretch. Irina Paredes, the Spain captain, who reiterated in the build-up to this game just how much respect there is between the two sides. The reigning European champions and the reigning world champions head-to-head in Basel. But it is Spain in front. 7.5 minutes into the second half, and no great surprise, but no activity on the England bench at the moment. That will come later, you would think.
It will come later, and I do think it will cause Spain a lot of problems. But I like the movement of Russo. She's continually looking to work off the back shoulder of the centre halves. Now we need to get Toone, those midfield players, Stanway, in better positions, looking to try and thread them in behind.
Hemp has won it high upfield for England and blocked off by Carmona in the Spain left-back position. Carmona forward to halfway, Stanway clears into touch, and that is the Spain throw in front of their watching head coach Once Tome. And a lot of talk rightly about how Spain have actually been able to enjoy this tournament. First time maybe in the modern era Spain have played a major tournament without having to deal with the distraction of a governing body or a coaching setup that they have no faith in. Halfway line, fouled by Gonzalez on Bronze. England seeing a bit more of the ball, more territory, but still 1-0 down. 54 minutes in, Tash Dowie.
Yeah, it's better. You know, the kind of first 5 minutes, have to just keep the ball, possess it. It's hard. It's hard when you're suffering, and especially they suffered for a good chunk of that first half. So I think this is really key now, even just little bounce passes to get people getting touches on the ball.
Gloomy skies overhead as Carter in the centre circle for England goes back to Greenwood, square out to the right. Leo Williamson now forward to Hemp reverse ball down the England right. Walsh can't get to it, beaten by a much quicker Guijarro. Quicker on the uptake and quicker in execution. Von Matti darting in field from the central area out to the left hand side. Caldente square, Guterres into the box with a curler. It's wide, and Spain miss another half chance to extend their lead.
They're finding pockets and dangerous pockets. I don't know how you can allow Putellas to be on the edge of the box unmarked. Allow her to be able to take a touch, look up, and it's a really poor finish by her in the end.
Let's go behind the goal in front of the England fans. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk is there for TalkSport. Courtney, are England showing enough at the moment?
I think they've shown an improvement, but is it enough to beat this Spain side? No, absolutely not. And I think where England was so good in the first period of the first half, that sort of initial 5 minutes where they were stopping the ball through the midfield, and you could see Spain were having to go wide, where more so now you can see the likes of Alexia Putellas, Patry and Aitana Bonmati dictating from the middle, and that's causing England some real problems at the moment.
Well, strange though it is to say, Spain have only had one more attempt on target than England, though England's last shot on target was in the 19th minute. We're now in minute 56. England 0, Spain 1 it remains. And that a reflection of the fact that England started better, but since then it's been all Spain really.
Spain will be desperate to score another goal because they'll know what's coming, Joe, and they won't like what's coming with regards to the subs that England can bring on.
Agyemang warming up for England. Here is Carter, back to halfway, and Leah Williamson, and now Hannah Hampton all in green. Is it going to be Michelle Agyemang's time again? The England fans are watching her warm up, the 19-year-old, as England come forward with Stanway. Inside left, on the overlap down the far side is Kelly. Three in the middle in the England white shirts. Kelly's cross, Russo! Alessia Russo equalises for England! These lionesses, they never know when they're beaten. They never say die. They are proper English. Alessia Russo has got England right back into the final. England won, Spain won, game on.
It's brilliant. First of all, the finish. That is not an easy finish, and for someone that hasn't been in the game that much, but England work out really well. Who's involved? Chloe Kelly. Again, poor defending to allow her to get onto her stronger right foot, but what a header that is. Peels off the centre half, is backpedaling, but heads it back where it came from. The keeper, you can see, is moving in the other direction. You don't get a better finish than that.
Oh, what a header! And England are on the comeback trail again. It's 1-1 on TalkSport. They never give in. Never. Hemp for England back to bronze. Spain have missed chances to extend their lead. England trying to come forward again. Thatcher clears. Russo actually caught her sliding in. That might be a yellow card. But what a moment for Alessia Russo. Goalkeeper Katakoi rooted to the spot. And it's 1-1 as we head towards the hour mark.
And I think, I'm not saying the game changes now, but this is a big momentum shift, Joe. I talked about the plan A's, the plan B's, the plan C's that England have. Spain don't. Spain stick to what they do, and they do it very well. But right now, I feel like there's a shift in momentum and in favour of England.
This is Women's Euro 2025 on TalkSport. McDonald's try the new and iconic Big Arch. Former England number 9, Tash Dow is with us. She knew. Fancied England to come back into it, and so they have. That's what we've got you here for, Tash. And now then, Bronson Carmona in a 50-50. Decision goes the way of Spain. Well, it wasn't 50-50. Is it going to be a yellow card?
Yeah, it's going to be a yellow card, but I like it. I want more of that. It's a cup final.
Carmona being treated, cutted by bronze. Let's get a word from the former England striker, Leanne Sanderson. Leanne, you'd have been proud of that header from Alessia Russo.
Yeah, great ball, Joe. Great goal. Fantastic ball into the box. And it had to be Chloe Kelly having that impact. But it's the one time Georgia Stanway's got, spare him in the middle of the park, played a fantastic ball. What a goal it is. Game on.
Yes, here we go. Great to hear from Leanne Sanderson, former England striker, part of our team today on Talk Sport. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, former Liverpool striker, behind the goal, and Tash Dowie is in the commentary box. It's 1-1. Here we go again, this England team. Never know when to lose, never know when to quit. But it is still Spain, and there's still over half an hour to go.
Do you know what I love as well, Joe, is actually maybe now Spain will realise that Russo actually has scored this tournament. You know, they disrespected her in the press conference saying she hadn't scored a goal. Well, maybe she heard that.
And it's Chloe Kelly with the assist again. The super sub once more for England. But they have a free kick to defend. Putellas pumps it high into the penalty area. Headed down by Paredes straight at Hampton. So maybe Spain are not as invincible as some thought. England won, Spain won. And how brilliantly is the Euro 2025 final poised now. If you were nervous before, how are you feeling at this point? Williamson for England. The chip ball square, risky to Carter. And the pressure from Gonzalez. Carter out to the left, Kelly Dink over the top, Stanway chasing, header away by Paredes. Now Spain on the counter. Bonmati has that equaliser for England, angered the Spanish. Down the right-hand side, Del Castillo with a deflected cross, away by Carter, not very far. Bonmati on the half-volley, charged down by Carter. Good defending on the recovery from England's Jess Carter, and Kelly hammers it away.
I think the managers are going to have a big say as well, Joe, in how this game ends up. Who's going to be the bravest to make the substitutions? Because when you look at both benches, there are game changers on that bench. That's what I'm excited about to see. Who's going to play their cards first?
Will be called for proper England, and now it's arrived. England fans waving flags above their heads. 1-1 in the final on Talk Sport. Bronze away from the right back position. Walsh sends it long. Russo is chasing, blocked off by Alexandri, and Paredes, the other centre half, sends it back to the goalkeeper Katakoi. Alexandri, as we said, not afraid of the physical side of the game. Here is Guijarro, back to Katakoi again, the number 13, who has a remarkable record. She made her senior debut in the knockout stages of the last World Cup, which of course Spain went on to win, senior international debut. Walsh in the centre circle, back to Bronze, right back position. England from left to right, and at the moment England look the better side. 1-1 and 28 and a half minutes to go at a tournament that for England has swung and swayed, ebbed and flowed. They've made it all the way to this point. They are level against the world champions. They are not going to give up this Euros title easily. Good ball by Alex Greenwood, down the left to Georgia Stanway, driving forward, out on the left hand side is Kelly. Toon calling for it in the middle. Kelly delivers up to the back post, over towards Hemp. Now did Carmody get a touch on that? No. Goal kick.
We look much more of a threat with Chloe Kelly and her ability to be able to go down the line or cut in. The defender doesn't know what to do at the moment, Bagier. She doesn't know whether to show a line because Chloe can go down the line and cross with her left, but she keeps allowing her to come back into her right foot, and then her balls are just exquisite. And for me now, England, get bodies in the box, commit more bodies forward.
Adjumang is warming up for England. Down below us on the near side touchline, we're actually sitting right behind the England manager Sarina Wiegman with her arms folded. Incredible record she's got at the Euros, trying to become the second head coach to win 3 consecutive editions of the European Championship. Did it before England with the Dutch. Hemp dropping deep. Back to Williamson. Williamson, England's captain, long. Russo tries to flick it on. She has held it up well and now turns infield into the centre and pings a lovely ball to the left. Kelly sprints across to reach it. Kelly keeps it in. Over on the far side. Greenwood on the underlap. Down to the dead ball line. That's a heavy touch in the end, and it is a goal kick. Still 1-1, and here's Tash Dowie.
I mean, what a goal can do for your confidence. It just looks like a different England team. You know, it really has lifted them and it's rattled Spain. Spain look rattled. This nice little underlap run there by Alex Greenwood. Actually, if I was Chloe Kelly, she's got such a good delivery. Allow her to do the run, but ignore her and then cross it in yourself.
Long ball forward by Katakoi, headed down by Lucy Bronze and cleared upfield by Guijarro. Headed by Williamson. just inside her own half for England. There's no danger now. Stanway's knocked it backwards. And maybe the question in terms of substitutions now shifts to the Spanish side of things. They've got several players warming up, and I think Pina, who really would be the danger player if she were to come on, is one of them. So beware.
And a Paraluelo, in my opinion. Pace. England don't like pace.
1-1 the score in the final on TalkSport. Back goes Guijarro for Spain, all the way back. Heavy ball to her goalkeeper, who's under pressure, taking on Rousseau. And then they nearly lose it through Carmona, but there was a foul by Hem. And it will be a free kick, and rightly so, to Spain.
Yeah, England just need to be a little bit careful, because Spain are so good at that. You know, drawing the fouls, dishing out yellow cards. No, it wasn't a yellow card, but we don't want to be losing any players in this game. So yeah, England just need to be careful and don't get drawn into the Spanish game.
I was thinking Katakoi needed to be careful, but nope, not at all. She, one of the Spain players who was in the build-up with tonsillitis. Bonmati had viral meningitis before the tournament started. Here they come, Spain. Del Castillo at the other end, right-wing position at the England end of the ground. Back infield from Batcher, but Stanway's there to intercept and scoop the ball clear, not convincingly. Spain have won it back on the corner of the England box with Bonmati. Plays it backwards now to Putellas. Putellas turns Hemp nearly. Now Guijarro. Alexandri wide to Carmona, inside left. Carmona now into a central area where Putellas is waiting. England with nearly everyone back. Good tackle by Kira Walsh. Classic Walsh. Ball over the top. Russo chases. Hit Russo on the instep, and Paredes gets across her. The Spanish captain, the number 4, very silky player, finds Guijarro. England 1, Spain 1. 20 minutes into the second half. England with Kelly. Back to Stanway, lip of the centre circle. Stanway, square to bronze. Walsh, Stanway, little triangular passing just inside the Spain half. Back England go to Williamson, and now Alex Greenwood. England have really reasserted themselves. It has been a feature of their tournament. They start badly, and then they bounce back. Adjumang's gone to sit down, I think, now. Maybe that Rousseau goal changed the mind of Serena Wiegmann. Bronze has lost it on halfway, though. Oh, and they're flooding forward here in Red Arse Spain. Guijarro, right corner of the area, to Del Castillo, who rifles it wide with an impossible angle.
It gave me bad flashbacks, to be honest, to the World Cup, where Lucy Bronze is getting herself into positions where I don't want to see her. She's in the middle of the pitch, she loses the ball. Look at her reaction here. Jogging, not sprinting. You know, and that's how they got punished in the World Cup. So manage the game a little bit better. You know, get yourself into a position. You're here to defend. So defend.
Well, thankfully for England, where they went to goal down to Spain at the World Cup, they couldn't come back. This time they have done in the Euro 2025 final. So many emotions for England fans, and maybe one of dread now, because the big screen has just shown us a shot of Pina, Claudia Pina of Barcelona, stripped and ready to come on in Spain red. She is a player who can create anything at any time. We've seen that with a couple of very eye-catching goals in this tournament. Forward by Paredes, long and high into the penalty area. That'll trickle behind. And it is a goal kick to England. Let's go pitch side again to our England reporter, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, behind the goal. Courtney, as you were thinking, and as we've just said here in the commentary box, maybe that Rousseau goal has changed Wiegmann's mind over Adjumang.
Yeah, very potentially, because I think you can tell the whole atmosphere has changed. The momentum's now with England in terms of, obviously, the England fans, they're always great support, but they've got a little bit louder as well. So I think maybe Serena Wiegmann just maybe potentially giving it 5 minutes. Although that said, Michelle Adjumang is getting ready and speaking to one of the assistants out the corner of my eye.
Chloe Kelly, left corner of the penalty area, shoots! It's just wide! Katakoi must have got fingertips to that. England nearly turned it around.
Chloe Kelly's a woman possessed. I mean, every single thing she does is coming off. And again, I talk about it. You show her infield, she's going to cross it. You show her down the line, she's going to have an attempt like that on her left foot and pull out a big save there by Koi.
What a save! What a touch from Katakoi. That is up there with the saves of the tournament, you have to say. Kelly now to take the England corner. Kelly, England's key player at this tournament, maybe. Two arms up into the air, and plenty of forward here. Kelly drips it in, over the head of Russo, and it bounced towards Williamson, who couldn't control on the edge of the box. Carter will go back to Hannah Hampton. 1-1 on Talk Sport, 21 minutes to go. Hampton with a good ball out to the right, but then Kelly actually slipped, and here comes Spain. Countering with Puteas over halfway. Caldente still a long way from goal, but England are backing off a bit here. Caldente darts infield and accelerates beyond Walsh and lays it down the left-hand side. Del Castillo's cross headed away by Williamson, and Bronze juggles the ball and scoops it over her shoulder. Doesn't look comfortable at the moment, Lucy Bronze. And England really did back off Caldente, and it nearly worked against them. Claudia Pina ready to take to the field for Spain. Good turn by Bonmati. Wide left is Del Castillo. Gonzalez is in the middle, and the deflected cross just reaches Hampton.
It's ebbs and flows, momentum shifts. It's fascinating to watch, it really is. You know, this final could go to either team right now. You can't call it. It's too even for me. It's too tight. But it looks like Agyemang's about to come on. 70 minutes, 20 minutes to go. I like to see it.
It's Agyemang. Her time has come much earlier than she had for the semi-final. The first teenager to score twice in the Euros since 2009, Michelle Agyemang. Spain make their change. Pina for Puteas. And there's going to be a big cheer in a moment for the new star of the Lionesses.
Puteas off. I mean, I'm gobsmacked by that. Yes, she's had a quiet game, but it's one of, if not the best players in the world, and she does not look happy.
It's Russo. It is a straight swap. Russo is on the yellow card. Not sure that necessarily came into the thinking much, but here comes the super sub. Scored against Sweden. Scored against Italy. Michelle Agyemang. Is she going to be at it again in the final? A few weeks ago, quite a few England fans might not have heard her name. Everybody knows her now. 1-1. 18 minutes to go on Talk Sport, and it could go either way. Hampton clears high downfield for England. Agyemang is really going to give Alexandri and Paredes something to think about. Carmona's gone down holding her face on the near side, and the game is stopped. 1-1 in front of 34,000 today in Basel on Talk Sport. We might see Beth Mead shortly as well. She's speaking to the assistant Arjan Verink, who is in his final game actually. He's going to become the Netherlands head coach after this tournament. Having a quick word with Beth Mead. Maybe it won't be long before she takes the field, touchdown.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what Spain have done there with regards to Puteas going off. So Caldente's gone into the midfield three. Pina's gone on to the left. So it's like for like with regards to Caldente can do that role in that number 10. She's done it many a times for Arsenal as well. But Agyemang, I'm excited. Go and bully those two centre halves. They don't like it. They don't like the physical battle. So that's what she needs to do. Run her socks off for 20 minutes.
Scores a level at one apiece. Another sellout crowd at the Women's Euros this year. Kelly raiding down the left. Out comes Kata Coy. Clears well the half volley from the edge of her own penalty area. Well, England look just as likely to get a winner in normal time as the Spanish do here. Oh, and now it gets really tense. Tash Dowie. We haven't even talked about extra time yet, but you know it's more than possible with this England team. Forward by Williamson, high diagonal ball. Kelly lets it bounce, and it bounces over her head.
I mean, did we ever believe it was going to be 90 minutes? It was always going to be the way, wasn't it? The extra time, the drama, the heartache, but they've done it, and I'm sure they'll do it again.
Well, no nation has ever played extra time 3 times in one Euros. England have already played it twice. Claudia Pina down the left, and England look a bit stretched here with Bronze backing off. Pina nudges it infield. Caldente, edge the D, back out wide to Pina. Bronze showing her onto the left, and she shoots, and Hampton turns it away. Slightly unorthodox. hit Hampton, bounced up into the air, and Williamson heads it behind for a corner. 1-1.
Well, that's the problem there with Lucy Bronze being isolated 1v1. Everyone knows what Pina wants to do. She wants to get it onto her right foot and do the shape shot that she scored already twice in this tournament. So Bronze actually does well to show her onto her left, and it's a comfortable save there. Hannah had it covered.
Pina is going to take the corner, and Paredes is among the players really crowding Hannah Hampton here. You'd think this is going to go into the 6-yard box. It does. Firm header away by Lucy Bronze, but it's dropped to Del Castillo. Plays it backwards, back to goal to Pina. Left edge of the area, whips in a lovely right-footed ball. Adjemang heads it away for England. Now Bonmati, 1-1 on Talk Sport. 15 and a half minutes of normal time left. Batcher's delivery towards Paredes. Good header by Bronze again. Corner.
Better by Lucy Bronze. She had the mistake in the first half, but she's definitely making up for it now. Good awareness there to see Paredes on her back shoulder, and it's a really good defensive header.
Now it is nervy. Now there is real threat for the Lionesses again. In front of the England fans, Pina to take another corner. Here she comes, right-footed into the 6-yard box, punched away one-handed by Hampton. Carter will get to the second ball in front of Guijarro. That is not out of play. Carter thought she'd want to throw, and she actually hauled down Paredes. That has to be a free kick, and I think the referee has given it in the right wing position.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying now. You know, England don't need to do this. They don't need to give away silly fouls. And yes, the Spanish are so good. They've got great footwork. But you can see here, it's a late tackle there by Carter. It's unnecessary. The ball's going backwards. Use your brain a little bit. And now she's given away a free kick in a really dangerous area.
Free kick to Spain in the right wing position. England have brought everybody back to defend it. Suddenly Spain are having maybe their best spell of the second half. And England dare not concede here in this situation in Basel. Spain playing from right to left with 14 minutes just over of normal time remaining in the final. Scores a level, 1-1. Russo's equaliser for England. She's since gone on. Some England fans can't bear to look. And this is only a free kick. Delivered in by Pina, scooped high, overhit. Beyond Alexandru. It'll be retrieved by Carmona. Down the left, she's broken England hearts before, but she's not beyond Adjemang, who stood up to the attempted nutmeg and said, no thanks. And England clear. 2 up towards Hemp. Slide tackle by Batcher. England throws a shot halfway.
Oh, big tackle there by Batcher, because Hemp gets there just in front of her, and you can see it's a clever little nick. And if she doesn't get that tackle in, Hemp's away there. And I love that defended by Adjemang. 1v1, doing her role defensively, just sits her down, see you later. And that's that physical presence that she's got that no one else on the pitch has.
She is so fearless, Michelle Adjemang. Back it goes now to Paredes. And Paredes rolls the ball further backwards to Katakoi, who's been excellent, the goalkeeper. 3 really good saves. Up there with Europe's best. Alexandru floats a long ball, headed away by Carter. Hardly mentioned Esther Gonzalez, second half. And England now with Head trying to get the wrong side of the defender. Right corner of the box, she's held it up well, Lauren Head. Plays it square towards Stanway, only half away by Bonmati. Now Ella Toon, edge of the penalty area. Walsh keeps it for England, Bronze works it wide. Hemp looks up, in swinging cross, up towards Adjemang, only half cleared again. Chloe Kelly is there. Back to Greenwood, and England go back to Carter. Middle of the Spain half, 1-1. 12 and a half minutes of normal time to go in the final. Extra time looming at the moment, but here's Leah Williamson, the captain, plays it in low, and Kelly coming into the back post, it's away by Batcher. Leah Williamson scampering forward, 1-2 with Hemp. She nearly settled the goal.
And where's your number 9? That's the only thing I'm saying. Adjemang, she's pulled off for the cutback. Get yourself in the box and you've got to tap in. That's where I think she'll learn. She's only young still, but you've got to have that instinctive, which she's done so well. Knows where to be at the right time, but there, her movement was the wrong movement.
No foul on Stanway by Guijarro. On the break comes Spain. Pina inside left, plays it forward to Gonzalez. Caldente is on the inside left into the penalty area now. Caldente can stand it up, hit Bronze, corner. England would have potentially felt aggrieved had that ended up in the back of the net, but we're in a situation now into the latter stages of the 90 where a goal here would maybe win it for either side.
Yeah, just watching their back, the run by Leah Williamson, it's a great ball in, the desire to get there. You just needed someone in there, and that's why I say Adjemang has to have that that instinctive nature. Get in the dangerous areas. Don't be pulling off in areas that you know you're not going to score.
Corner to Spain. Pina will take it. Williamson was saying everyone in the England squad would play through anything to feature for this England team. 1-1. In by Pina into the near post, header away by Lucy Bronze, firm and true. Slice clearance by Toon and by Kelly. Nervy there. Pina has to go back to halfway, and Batcher, here comes Adjemang trying to charge her down. Batcher's ball was hurried. Under pressure, Bronze was caught as she cleared. It's an England free kick. Women's Euro 2025 live on TalkSport with McDonald's. Try the new Big Arch now. Make sure you download our app ahead of the start of the EFL season next week, and of course the Premier League for mid-August. Hannah Hampton is down. Here come the England physios. Let's go and check in behind the goal again with Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, our England reporter. Courtney, you've got England fans right behind you. Do you get the sense that they believe the Lionesses can win this?
Yeah, I think of course they do. At 1-1 it only takes one opportunity, but I think the game, for a period of time where we scored that goal through Alessia Russo and looked on top, I think it's maybe reverted to a more of an equal game now, and you're seeing again the little shifts in momentum, but that's going to happen now with only 10 minutes left. It's you're at a point now as well where you don't want to lose, so there probably won't be too many chances taken, but equally I think Spain have looked good in phases, and so have England, and it's probably about the braveness now. Who really wants to be brave to go and win it in full time, in 90 minutes rather, but also there is that risk that if you leave yourself exposed, you can also lose it, so it's a bit of a chess match at the moment.
Huddles going on the halfway line as Hannah Hampton is treated. Let's bring in the former England striker Leanne Sanderson. Leanne, I wonder what Serena Wiegman has got up her sleeve in the final 10 minutes, or does she save people potentially for extra time?
Well, the fact that she's brought Michelle Adjemang on in the 70th minute, I think is a massive plus. I thought Alessia Russo was fantastic, but the fact that she put her on earlier, I mean, I think in the last 10-15 minutes, you know, the momentum has shifted a lot. I agree with what Tash was saying, but the momentum is definitely with England now, and I think Spain are there for the taking. I mean, at half-time, like, I was thinking this game was dead and buried, but I think, again, we have to trust in Serena in this process.
Leanne Sanderson with us on TalkSport. In Serena, we have trusted and continue to trust. Something about the recoveries from England. They start playing well when they're 1-0 down. Hampton still got two physios around her. Up she gets. And do England start to prepare for extra time again, Touchdown?
I think you have to be brave enough to go and win it in 90. I really do, and I think Courtney's point is spot on there. Who is brave enough? Because you're going to have to be brave at some point, whether it's extra time, whether it's penalties. So be brave enough to go and win it in 90 minutes, and whether that is substitutions or whether it's brave play, let's see which team does it.
Forward by Hampton, high towards Adjemang, header away by Alexandri. Lauren Hemp will try to bring the ball down on the near side, and it's bounced out of play for an England throw close to the edge of the Spain box. Beth Mead, has she been called over by the England staff? I think she was. England throw, Bronze long towards Adjemang, header away by Alexandri. The danger is gone for Spain at the moment. Pina with another good touch to find Gonzalez, but then she's blocked off by Walsh. Good turn by Toon. Little bit of fortune about it away from Guijaro, back to Bronze, and England in a very tight area down there right. Walsh has tried to smack it into the area, but it is an England throw again in the final third of the field. 83rd minute, England 1, Spain 1 on TalkSport.
Yeah, I think if anything it's the Spanish manager Tomé that will be looking to make the changes. I think England look strong and comfortable.
Patsy Guijaro can't clear. Oh, and Lauren Hemp seized upon it, but the referee had spotted a foul. Guijaro was being tugged back, and it will be a free kick to Spain.
I am surprised that Paraluelo hasn't been introduced though, because I think everyone has seen this tournament that England do struggle with legs, with runners in behind, with direct play, and she probably is the one and only player in that Spanish team that can do that.
Alexandri clips the ball long for Spain, held up by Pina. In front of the Spain dugout, back to Carmona now. Carmona to Alexandri under pressure from Hemp. Guijaro in a very tight spot again, had to turn the ball back out to the near side, and she did. Gonzalez is on the halfway line, and now here is Mariona Caldente. Charging forward for Spain is Batcher. Down there inside right, Del Castillo is on the overlap. Del Castillo in the England penalty area. Cross towards Gonzalez, cleared away by Williamson. Kelly volleys the ball over her shoulder and away from England danger for now. Dare not concede either team at this point. 6 minutes plus added time to play. England 1, Spain 1. Here is Caldente. Heartbreak for England in 2023. Heartbreak at the men's Euros last summer, both against the Spanish. Here is Bonmati. Inside left, jinking away from Bronze, clipping in the cross. Hampton spills it, but gathers at the second attempt. Rarely has Hannah Hampton made any sort of mistake for England at this tournament.
Yeah, it seemed like quite a comfortable cross, to be honest. I don't know why she dropped it there. But a worry for me is that Bonmati is growing into the game. I don't like to see that.
Headed by Paredes under pressure from Adjumang. England have got Beth Mead stripped and ready to come on pretty shortly, I think. Number 9 is ready to go. She's had to cope with a roll off the bench largely at Euro 2025. Bronze intercepts on halfway for England. Now the chance is on. Kelly couldn't find Adjumang through the middle. Cleared away by Paredes, who's had an excellent game. For Spain, 1-1. 5 minutes left. It's been just as balanced as the two sides promised us coming into this match. But it's not over yet. Still time for a very late winner. Quijano in the centre circle. Now Carmona. Halfway line. Back it goes to Laia Alexandri. And now Paredes down the middle. Gonzalez tackled by Carter. Well won back. Ella Toone now for England. Ella Toone out to the right hand side, and Lauren Hemp is running onto it. Right corner of the box. Is she going to go on the inside or on the outside onto her right? Comes back inside with her left foot and can't find a white shirt. Cleared away. Felt like a half chance that for England really, as Bronze gets in front of Pina, wins England the throw in front of the Spain dugout. Here comes Beth Mead, touchdown.
Spain looked tired, Joe. Lost possession there, and I'm looking at the midfield. Patry in particular, they look dead on their legs. So if you are going to go and win the game, go and win it in these next 5 minutes, because Spain look the more tired of the two teams.
So it's Toone who comes off for England here, and replaced by Beth Mead, the Golden Boot winner at Euro 2022, and England's 6th highest scorer of all time. If anyone can do it, she can. England's Beth Mead. 1-1. And Lucy Bronze is sitting on the ball. We usually see her doing that in the warm-up. Bronze to take a throw in front of the dugout. So one apiece it remains. Long to Adjumang trying to flick it forward. Hemp then beaten in the air by Alexandri. Alexandri square and infield to Quijano. And then Pina blocked off by Adjumang. And England are winning many more of the second balls than they did in the first half. Finishing strong. Carmona equally determined. Barges across in front of Hemp. And Spain get an immediate throw themselves. 3 minutes of normal time plus added time to come. And of course, if there's no breakthrough, extra time and penalties.
It's getting feisty, I like it. And now we see a Vicky Lopez and Paraluelo about to come on for the Spanish team. Both teams are really going for it now.
The amazing resources that Spain have got. Bonmati for them. There's trouble here. Del Castillo inside right. Greenwood retreats. Greenwood gets in front of Del Castillo. Holds her up only temporarily. Batcher for Spain. They've still got it. The chance is still on. Del Castillo edge of the box. And Greenwood tries to make a tackle. And in the end, Stanway does for England. And she's fouled, and it's a free kick. Good work by Alex Greenwood. Initially there.
Yeah, it's great defending there by Alex Greenwood. Uses her experience there. That's why she's got over 100 caps for England. And Stanway, I love that. You know, the work rate that a midfield player has to do. You know, doubling up, helping her teammate out there. Here come the Spanish changes.
Well, it's so nervy this for England. And it's Del Castillo and Gonzalez who go on. The Spanish fans will think about their own team selection and feel that maybe there were controversial decisions. On comes Vicky Lopez, who celebrated her 19th birthday yesterday, and Paraluelo, who is so quick. She was a tremendous sprinter in her youth before really focusing on football. One of the fastest players in the game, and more of a physical threat than Gonzalez, you'd have to say as well. 90 seconds to go. England 1, Spain 1, added time on the way. Here's Tash Dower.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with regards to Tomei's tactical plan and who she's played. I think she got it wrong today. And I'm not saying Esther's not a top player, but I think Paraluelo is more of a threat with regards to what she can offer for Spain against this England back line. Same with Pina. So I think, yeah, Tomei has got it wrong, as well as Serena playing Lauren James.
Throw on the far side, infield for England. Stanway down the Spain left, and it's Chloe Kelly by the corner flag. Pushes it backwards towards Greenwood, who can't continue the attack, has to go back to halfway, and Carter. Now into the last 45 seconds of normal time at the end of the 90. Hemp down the middle, away by Paredes. A goal here wins the Euros for either team. 1-1 on Talk Sport. Claudia Pina for Spain. Bronze backs off. Pina, lovely ball into the area. Hit by Paraluelo. Across comes Carter with a good challenge. What a ball by Claudia Pina. It is the Spain corner.
Jess Carter, well done. Tracking her straight away. I'm talking about the runs in behind that England don't like. Paraluelo does that. You know, she's on within seconds and she's got a shot on goal. But Jess Carter, brilliant tracking there. Big block.
England with everybody back. They'll probably take extra time now, England, as we head into added time. 4 added. Pina's corner for Spain. Deep to the back post. Header away. It'll drop down to Vicky Lopez. Squares up on Matty. Hits it. Blocked by Mead. Very important intervention there. And a good header away initially, actually, in the back post. I think by Greenwood, because Paredes loves to make those back post runs, but she couldn't get there this time. 1-1.
It's everyone doing their role, Joe, and that's what I love about that. Beth Mead, she wants to come on and she wants to score the goal, but she's back there getting the block in, and that's what I love about this England team and their mentality. They all know that they have to do their job, half a job of someone else's.
Carmona for Spain, 30 seconds through, 4 added at the end of the 90, 1-1. Pina taking on bronze, infield to Paraluelo, quick feet, the low shot, drag wide. England have defended excellently in large part in the second half, and we're into Wiegman time now. Added time at the end of the 90, and then extra time, and surely not the dreaded penalties. That's a long way away anyway.
I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I think this is what we hope the final would bring. An even game, a competitive game, on the edge. So if there's an extra 30 minutes, to be honest, I'm loving the football, so I'm all for it.
Long high ball towards Adjumang for England, missed by Alexandri. Paredes, as always, is there on the cover. So dependable. She was actually caught by Adjumang, and that is a definite foul. 90 seconds through the 4 added now. Spain have got a free kick in their left back position. This is Talk Sport, live from Switzerland at the Euros. England 1, Spain 1, it remains. Carmona 1-2 with Caldente. Infield to Bonmati. Carmona again. Second half will give England belief they can win it in extra time if it goes that far. Kelly couldn't reach a ball from bronze on the stretch. Halfway through the 4 added. And of course the very potent Spain threat remains. They've changed their whole front three now. Ona Batcher for them, the right back, has steered it down the far side. Carter there to clear, ahead of Paraluelo. 90 seconds of added time to go.
You can see Serena Wiegman telling her back line to get up, to try and put pressure. They keep dropping. It's a dangerous game to play.
They're still dropping now, England, as we watch Spain come forward down the left. Pina scoops the high ball down the centre, headed away by Carter, not very far. Patrick Iharo nudges it to Paraluelo. She's in the box. Vicky Lopez to curl it. Over. 2-3 yards over the top. You can breathe again for a minute, Lionesses fans. 1-1.
Oh, we can. You know, the subs that have come on for Spain, Paraluelo and Lopez, have looked really sharp. Half a yard, they're getting shots off. I think Paraluelo, within the 3 minutes that she's been on, has had more shots on target or on goal than Esther did for the whole time that she was on. They want to get this game done. I think both teams want to get this game won in 90 minutes, Joe.
Well, they've only got 45 seconds to do that. Hampton clears, extra time lose. Header away by Caldente, forward by Bronze for England. England the late goal specialists at the Euros, but they've lost it on the halfway line. Back comes Kenny trying to charge down Batcher. Batcher far side, just over halfway beyond Chloe Kelly. Batcher loves to get forward, 20 seconds remain. 1-1, back to Vicky Lopez. The goal here breaks England hearts well and truly. Batcher out on the Spain right. England with everybody bar Adjemang back. Spain find Vicky Lopez. Back to goal in the area. Batcher wide right. Back to Bonmati. 25 yards from goal. England try to hold firm. Caldente in the area. Foot in from Greenwood to clear. The 4 added minutes have been played and we will have extra time for the 4th time in the history of the European Championship final. England on the comeback turn again. Alessia Russo's equaliser after Caldente's first half opener for Spain. We're well and truly into Wiegman time now, but can England do it again? They will not let go of their grip on the Euros trophy, but of course Spain will still have plenty to say about that. After 90 minutes, it finishes. England 1, Spain 1. Just like 2022, extra time in the final, and so the Lionesses hope the outcome will be the same. England, white shirts, blue shorts, white socks, Spain all in red. England will kick off extra time from right to left with the score 1-1 under the lights in Basel. So England attacking the end that houses the Lionesses fans. Beth Mead gets extra time underway. Twice England have had to come to extra time at this tournament. Penalties of course as well against Sweden. Twice they've done it. Will it be 3rd time lucky? Or will Spain lift the trophy for the very first time? No changes at the start of extra time. Ona Batcher for Spain on the halfway line. I remind you the 2-11s again in just a moment, but it was Caldente's first half opener for Spain and Russo's equalised for England. 2 great headers in the match so far. Paraluelo turns infield for Spain. Bonmati has got Batcher on the overlap down the near side, the right. Back infield to Vicky Lopez on the edge of the England penalty area. The angle is against her. She's chipped it across. Great ball headed away and behind by England's Lucy Bronze. If there was a Spain touch, they'd have been 2-1 ahead.
Yes, great play there by Vicky Lopez, and Bonmati is applauding her. She's got Alex Greenwood backpedaling 1v1, and it's a very similar situation to Bagier where they actually score from that, but Lucy Bronze better position, good clearance.
Here comes the Spain corner. Claudia Pina to take it. Right-footed, good header away by Georgia Stanway. Flick further cleared by Chloe Kelly. Ona Batcher gets to the loose ball. Batcher of Barcelona. Out wide to the left, the corner taker Pina with a great in-swinging cross, but just a bit too much on it. Anna Hampton all in green gathers. She's the England goalkeeper. Bronze, Williamson, Carter and Greenwood, Walsh and Stanway, Kelly, Mead and Hemp behind Adjemang now. And for Spain, it's Katakoy in goal. Batcher, Paredes, Alexandri and Carmona. Bonmati, Guijardo and Pina. Caldente, Paraluelo and Vicky Lopez. On the England bench, Morehouse and Keating the keepers. Charles, Letitia, Clinton, Morgan, Beaver Jones, who's celebrating her birthday today, Park and Woburn Moy. Probably think of more relaxing ways to spend my birthday. 1-1, 2 minutes into extra time on TalkSport, and here's Tash Dowie.
I've been really impressed with Stanway. You know, normally it's just Walsh that sits and shields, but actually them two have almost had 2 sitting in front. And Stanway swept up really well and drawn a lot of fouls. I like as well that Beth Mead has looked to kind of go up top with an Adjemang. She's kind of almost playing in a number 10, false number 9 role. But I like that from England, 2 number 9s.
Kira Walsh for England just shy of the halfway line. Long ball up the middle, Stanway chases, but there's too much on it. Walsh and Stanway gelled together so well in that England midfield. Georgia Stanway, who scored the winner after extra time against Spain in the quarters of Euro 2022. Chloe Kelly scored the winner against Germany. She's on the pitch now, but here comes Spain. Vicky Lopez raiding down the middle here with two defenders in her wake. Looks for Paoluelo. Williamson got it away just about. Little tangle of legs, cleared further by Kelly. 3 minutes into extra time. England 1, Spain 1. Here is Bonmati, out to the wide right position for Spain. Still they wave their flags behind the goal, the Spanish supporters. Vicky Lopez with a curling cross to the back post. Good ball again. Pina coming in, couldn't reach it, and England have a goal kick away to the right.
I can't believe Vicky Lopez is 18 years of age. The footwork, first of all, to just nutmegs, I think it was Greenwood there, and then the dribble and drive, and actually I would have gone herself. Release her shot, she's looked to try and play Paoluelo in, who's flat-footed, not ready for it, but she's looked a real handful, Vicky Lopez, since she's come on.
Remember, the last team to beat Spain in any match was England. Early this year, February. England know how to do it, but it's always easier said than done against a team with Spain's quality. Carter carries the ball forward early on in extra time and overhits the pass right to left towards Kelly, and England yet to really settle into extra time so far.
Yeah, and it's been a similar story. It was the same against Italy when it went to extra time. Didn't really take the momentum that they had in the game into the extra time and then waited till probably the second half. But let's just hope that's not too late.
Bonmati brought down, and that will be a booking for England's Lauren Hemp. Midway inside Spanish territory, but it was late from England's number 11.
Yeah, it was late, and she had a few in the first half that she's probably actually lucky to get away with not getting a yellow in the 90 minutes. So yeah, she just needs to be careful now. People need to use their heads.
That is Bronze and Hemp, who have been booked for England over the course of the now 95 minutes, 5 minutes into extra time if you're just joining us on Talk Sport. Batcher nudges the ball forward, flicking field by Vicky Lopez. Batcher on the underlap, tries to reach it. Alex Greenwood slips in the left back area, holds up Vicky Lopez for now. Vicky Lopez with the long dark hair, low centre of gravity, and so good on the ball and actually deceptively strong, and she's held it up in front of Stanway. And I think that has been given as a free kick to Spain right in front of the dugout. Referee's having a word with Greenwood.
It's not a foul. You know, for me it's not a foul. You know, it's good footwear, but Alex has done well just to hold her up.
England switched off from the free kick. Batcher free to cross. Owen Walsh knocks it high up into the air. Stanway facing her own goal with a nervy chest down and clearance away. England on the back foot in extra time, and there are understandably some tired-looking legs in this England team with the score 1-1 and Spain playing keep ball again at the moment. Here is Paredes to Bonmati, over halfway. England sitting deep. Now Vicky Lopez has got Batcher on the overlap again. Vicky Lopez infield to Bonmati. In large part, it's a very experienced England team out there now. They're going to need to use that experience in extra time. Maybe penalties to come. Clumsy clearance by Greenwood, only as far as Caldente. Hemp intercepts on the stretch. Hemp with her pace races upfield towards halfway, but not beyond the red shirt of Caldente. He gets back. Only Adjaman was in support of him. Now Bonmati between the lines, racing to the edge of the area. Bonmati with a low shot, blocked by Williamson. England on the ropes, and Lucy Bronze goes down, having been struggling at the end of the 90, and 6.5 minutes into extra time. Bronze is going to need the physio on here.
Yeah, she looks like she's really struggling. I think it looks like her knee, she's holding her knee there. But this is where Bonmati's at her best. You know, in those pockets, driving, penetrating. It's a good block by Leah Williamson. But it's cat and mouse right now. England attack, knowing that if they turn it over, that almost Spain are cheating. They're leaving your Bonmatis and your Caldentes in pockets that actually then when they can attack, they've got that extra number. Doesn't look good for Lucy Bronze here, by the way.
Well, England have got Niamh Charles to bring on, should they need to. She's actually been warming up because Bronze has been struggling for a while now. 1-1 in extra time. We've been here in the quarters, in the semis, now in the final, and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk behind the goal to our left in front of the England fans. You've been watching Niamh Charles warm up, Courtney.
Yeah, I haven't, because Lucy Bronze has been struggling probably since about the 75th minute, I would say. In terms of physically, we know everything that she's put into, obviously, the game throughout this tournament. She leaves everything out on the pitch, but I think maybe that sort of that tank is potentially just run out. And say, as I look to my right, Niamh Charles is ready, stripped off, and although that said, she's just putting her bib back on, so maybe Lucy Bronze has signalled over that she's okay to continue.
Well, Bronze has limped up, she can barely walk. Bronze wants to try and soldier on. Should that be her decision?
No, it shouldn't, because Lucy Bronze will play. She won't pull herself out, so this is where actually the physios need to do what's right for the player, because no player is going to turn around and say, I'm coming off. And let's just hope that this situation isn't like a Lauren James.
You're not going to come off an extra time in a final, but England temporarily down to 10. Spain throw, level with the edge of the box. No sign of Niamh Charles coming on now anyway. Cleared up field by England. Bronze waiting for the call to come back on. She gets the call from the referee. England back to 11. We'll keep an eye on how Bronze is moving. She's jogging now as Spain come forward down the opposite wing. They're right, England left. Bonmati chips in the cross. Bronze with a real test at the back post. Did enough to put off Pina. Now it's dropped Carmona. All Spain in the first half of extra time. Hemp has kept it in. Down by the dead ball line. Oh, back to Bronze, risky ball. Bronze wins the 50-50, and now Walsh clears upfield. Mead is chasing, Paredes in the way. Sweeps it downfield, and that England counter-attack snuffed out. Nearly 10 minutes into extra time. You're with Talk Sport at the Euros final. 1-1. England trying to defend their title. Spain trying to win the Euros for the first time in their history. Caldente, shy of the centre circle, out to the left, and Carmona again. Back to Laia Alexandri. We haven't even seen an England half chance in the first half of extra time so far, Tash Dowie.
No, we haven't, and it's hard because they know how good Spain are, so it's whether or not to gamble too early or not.
Bonmati, back to Alexandri. Forward at the centre circle. Alexandri squared to Caldente. Caldente is about 40 yards from goal. England are trying to force Spain to go wide. Batcher on the attack. Crosses obligingly to the back post, but it's overhit. Pina will get there, close to the corner flag, and Bronze is backing off here against Pina. Bronze is in a one-on-one. Pina in field onto the right foot. Curls it well wide in the end. Via a deflection for a corner, says the referee.
I didn't see the deflection. I was worried here for Bronze. She's injured. She's 1v1 with Pina. Pina gets onto her right foot. There's no deflection there whatsoever. I don't know what the referee has seen, and obviously she's made her decision and changed her mind. It's a goal kick, but it's dangerous. That's what Pina wants, and she's so good at that.
Well, at what point does Sarina Wiegman look at it and think she's got to come off? Unless, of course, penalties are in consideration as well. Lucy Bronze hammered a spot kick into the net against Sweden. We are 11 minutes into extra time. So, under 20 to play. Batcher halfway for Spain. All Spain in extra time so far from left to right. England win it back. Adjumang through the legs of Guijarro, and she was caught, Adjumang. Free kick England just inside the Spain half. England slow it down.
Yeah, well, that's what Adjumang needs to do. It's not a nice role to play, but you've got to just try and win as many fouls as you possibly can and allow then England to kind of dictate the tempo again, get on the ball like they are now, start passing it around and getting a moment of possession.
Williamson out to the right, and Hemp back to Williamson again, middle of her own half, and now Hampton. What a fabulous final it's been between these two rivals, England and Spain. 1-1, and the rivalry really has built up at major tournaments. Of course, Spain beat England in the last Women's World Cup. Now they're level at 1-1 in the final of Euro 2025, and still not a great deal to choose from between them. But do you think, Tash Dowie, that one goal is enough to win it in extras?
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing in it right now. It's either going to be a mistake or a piece of pure skill and brilliance.
Oh, there's plenty of brilliance on the pitch. Forward by Guijarro to Bonmati. Inside the centre circle, crosses the halfway line, 10-yard ball forward, intercepted on the stretch by Chloe Kelly of England. Adjumang holds it up well on halfway, plays it square. Beth Mead is there. Out to the right-hand side. Hemp in the wing position. 3 in the middle for England. Lauren Hemp with the cross. Adjeman got a touch and it's cleared away by Paredes. Further away by Guijarro, and then out of play by Pina. England throw. Couple of minutes to go in the first half of extra time.
Yeah, it's nervy, it's edgy, and even the best players, Pina there, under no pressure whatsoever, kicking it out. You know, players look nervous because I think they know just how much is on the line right now. One moment, that's all it takes.
Bronze for England, forward down the right, cleared away, only half away by Spain. Adjeman slid in, now it's with Mead, and Adjeman is penalised. Got the ball, but I think took her opponent out in the process as well. I think it's Guijarro, and it is a free kick to Spain, and not long left now in the first half of extra time. The score is 1-1.
It's a great tackle. I don't know what the referee has seen there. She's come in, won the ball cleanly. Yes, she's maybe caught her a little bit at the end, but you can't give that as a free kick.
Stephanie Frappard, the referee. Caldente back to Alexandri. Spain trying to play the ball out of the defensive third. Eventually Alexandri chips it longer to Pina, beaten by Kira Walsh. Stanway square out to the right. Walsh couldn't get to it. Spain have it again with Pina. Forward ball over halfway. Williamson should get there easily. She does. Conscious of Paolo behind her. Back to Hannah Hampton. Hampton now, the England goalkeeper, slows it down again. Last 45 seconds of the first half of extra time to play, and just like the Italy game, the semi-final, the first half of extra time uneventful for England, but here is Mead down the right, great ball to find her. Mead holds it up, goes wide to Hemp, hugging the touchline now, infield to Mead again. Mead gets a little ricochet of Caldente, good turn, 1-2 with Stanway. Mead's knocked it down the right, I think she meant to control it. Carmona nearly takes it down beyond her own dead ball line. It's only half away by Spain, not good defending. Hemp blocks it down, right edge of the box, heads for the dead ball line, blocked off by Alexandri, and that is a goal kick. Some of the England fans thought it was a penalty, and actually Kata Coy, the goalkeeper, celebrated in front of the England fans because obviously the decision went her way.
It was actually really good defending there by Alexandri. Just gets her body across her former teammate who she knows very well. And I just saw Chloe Kelly, who we feel like we haven't even mentioned in extra time. She's been saying that they need to switch the play more, get her more involved.
2 minutes added at the end of the first half of extra time on TalkSport. 1-1 the score remains. Cleared away by Guijarro. England against Spain in the final of the Women's Euros. Forward by Stanway. It was extra time that England needed to beat Germany. 2-1 in 2022 at Wembley Stadium. The Lionesses' first major trophy, and England's first major trophy since 1966, then 56 years on. And of course that Kelly winner against Germany came in the second half of extra time. A minute through the 2 added at the end of the first half. Williamson volleys the ball away for England up to halfway. Caldente brings it down. Even some of the Spain players are looking a bit fatigued now. It's a long domestic season for them, just like in England. Batcher, right edge of the centre circle, over halfway, and infield to Bonmati. Bonmati with her socks rolled halfway down her shins, out to the right, and Vicky Lopez. Batcher on the overlap, the dangerous Paolo and Pina in the middle. Bonmati, heavy ball. Batcher keeps it in though. Dead ball line, across comes Alex Greenwood. 1-1, Spain on the edge of the England area. England must keep their concentration here. Batcher, 30 seconds of the first half of extra time to play. Oh, and Batcher is in. Good ball by Bonmati. Batcher pulls it back, and somehow it is missed on the line by Paolo. She's got another chance as Caldente crosses. Cleared away. Tried to flick it in, Paolo. If she got any meaningful touch, Spain are in front again, and they could still be. With a cross from Caldente, that hits bronze. A let-off for the Lionesses.
That was the moment. It's patient play. You can see here, they're planning it. And again, it's Bagier finding herself in that space. It's a great ball. And you can see what Paolo, it's not an easy finish. It's behind her. But for someone of her quality, she can do that back heel. You can see that she's got the contact. Should be 2-1 there.
That is the end of the first half of extra time. And we are 15 minutes away from penalty kicks in the Euro 2025 final. England won, Spain won. On comes Niamh Charles, her 5th substitute appearance of the tournament for England, and a change at fullback for Spain as well. Wahabi of Manchester City replaces Carmona. 1-1, second half of extra time begins. Spain all in red from right to left, and England white shirts, blue shorts, white socks from left to right. Penalties feel more than possible at this moment. Forward by Wahabi for Spain, the flick by Paralluelo away from goal, gets it back from Caldente. That was a clever cushion header. Paralluelo looking to bully her way through, spinning, twisting, back to Claudia Pina, right across the goal line and wide. Well, another moment of great fortune for England. Stays 1-1.
Well, we talk about instinctive finishers. Watch here. Why doesn't Paralluelo hit it with her right foot there? Because that's her weaker foot. The best strikers, you have to hit it there. She's got half a yard. She's 6 yards out. And then she goes back onto her stronger foot and the chance disappears. That is a massive let-off for England and a wasted opportunity for Spain.
Spain have looked the more likely in extra time, no doubt about it. We're heading towards Chloe Kelly time. It was 10 minutes from the end of extra time when she scored against Germany to win England the Euros in 2022. And the 119th minute here when her penalty rebound got England to the final in Switzerland. A minute through the second half of extra time, and again it's Spain in possession. All Spain in extra time, but they can't find a breakthrough yet. Vicky Lopez to Bonmati deep in the England half. Batcher in a tight area, blocked off by Greenwood. Free kick given. Dangerous position is for Spain, Tash Dower.
And again, it's a silly foul. You know, for someone so experienced like Alex Greenwood is. You know, she doesn't have to go in there. You can see she just catches Badier's toe there. She's telling her to get up, but it is a foul. But the thing that I always think about with this Spanish team, and I think it has been a case, they keep the ball, they possess it, they play such good football, but I still don't think they have that prolific number 9. And this is why I do think England could go on and win this game.
13 minutes of extra time remain. Spain free kick, their right, England's left. Very close to the corner of the area. 2 in the England wall at the moment. And everybody else back to defend the aerial ball. Will it be Pina or will it be Vicky Lopez, right or left foot respectively? The referee waits and gets ready to blow the whistle in front of the England fans. This is Talk Sport, 1-1 in the final. In by Pina, and it's dropped to the back post. Missed Paredes, missed Alexandri. And Paralluelo as well, hammered clear by Adjiman. England cannot afford to allow any more of these balls to cross the face of goal sooner or later. And Spain's surely going to take a chance. I think the referees pulled it back for an offside anyway.
I mean, it's going to be a long 15 minutes, put it that way, because Spain, again, the momentum has shifted. The final's been fascinating, Joe, it really has, and there's been moments that both teams will look back on and think, we should have taken that opportunity. But right now, Spain are on the forefront, and England just need to hold in and ride this momentum.
England staff talking to Grace Clinton at the moment. She could come on over the top by Kelly, header away by Wahabi from the Spain left back position, near side of the field. Caldente, is she going to steer that out to play? Guijarro has given it away to Hep. She nips in front of Wahabi. 2 in the middle. Hep's cross deflected away by Alexandri, only just. And then Pina wriggles away from Kira Walsh and beyond Mead as well. Kelly then slides in. It was a foul by Mead. Free kick to Spain. The referee's going to tell them to go back. But as I say, we might see Grace Clinton in an England shirt. Late sub at this tournament once again, very shortly. England won, Spain won, with penalties looming to decide the destiny of the European Championship trophy. Good ball by Batcher, great race of pass to Bonmati, right hand edge of the box, across comes Carter, Bonmati pulls it back, Niamh Charles gets there to clear, in front of Pina. Crucial intervention. Bonmati again, away on the right. Paralluelo in the middle amongst 3 or 4 in red. Oh, what a ball by Bonmati. Batcher pulls it back. Turn behind again. Desperate England defending. Bonmati can pick a pass like no one else in the game.
Yeah, she can, and she's finding those pockets down the right-hand side that she loves. She says that. She likes to find those pockets, making those third-man runs in behind. And really, it's brilliant play by Niamh Charles. Only just come on. but the pressure is on now. It really is. England need to dig deep.
It is 1-1. 10 minutes of extra time remain. That or penalties. Hoisted in the corner by Pina. Paredes peeled away at the back post, nodded it back across Vicky Lopez. Paoluelo missed her kick, and Hampton pounces on it again. Paoluelo, the substitute, with the chance to win the Euros for Spain, and she fluffs her lines.
Yeah, she does. She's had 2 or 3 opportunities. And Paoluelo, she's a great player. She really is. But sometimes I don't think she fits into this Spanish philosophy with regards to the tiki-taka style of football. And I've said it time and time again. The one striker that I think would have taken these chances is sitting at home in Mexico watching it. She would have put that away, Hermoso.
Yes, Jenny Hermoso. She's not here though for Spain, and it's still 1-1. England are clinging on really towards penalty kicks, but there is still over 9 minutes of extra time to go. Can England hold out? Penalties look their best hope at this point. Vicky Lopez again on the far side, the right, deep inside the England half again. Thatcher's nutmeg Greenwood, who hacks it away right-footed at the second time of asking. Can England afford to sit back like this, Tash Dowie? Is penalties what they're aiming for now?
Yeah, I think it is. It's more of a mental thing right now, Joe. They just have to keep switched on.
Thatcher, right corner of the area. Bonmati on the overlap. That's a great ball and well gathered by Hampton. So many nervy moments in extra time for England fans, but no nerves from the goalkeeper there.
No, great hands by Hannah Hampton. And again, Spain are targeting that left-hand side. Bonmati's involved in everything now. And these are the moments that I find fascinating. You know, where the best players will stand up and will be counted.
Header away by Paredes for Spain. England yet to have a shot in extra time. It's still 1-1. We're in the 112th minute, live on Talk Sport. And England have a throw which Charles will take on the halfway line. Still no sign of another substitution imminently as yet, but of course there's still time. The likes of Clinton or even others to come on. Spain have the ball with Guijarro striding forward, the tall midfield player. Caldente scampers up towards the edge of the England area. England backing off. Caldente lays it square. Chances on for Vicky Lopez. Right edge of the penalty area, left-footed shot over again. Wasteful Spain. Wasteful.
Really wasteful. It's brilliant by Caldente. Drives, commits. And the touch is what lets Vicky Lopez down. It's a really poor touch, which then kills the momentum completely. And then it's a poor finish.
Well, it's still 1-1. England have got a player down. I think it is not Greenwood. It is Stanway who has gone to ground on the far side of the field. Stanway is going to be treated. Let's take you behind the goal again. No doubt nervy behind the goal amongst the England fans. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Yeah, it certainly is. Obviously the end that Spain are attacking too, and there's no doubt in my mind that they're having the better of the play. But I think what Tash said about Hermoso is right. I think you look at Salma, and at times she's probably been a wide player at times at Barcelona, and that's what she looks like. She looks like a very good forward wide player, but she's not that number 9. She's not that prolific player, you know, that's going to put almost the easier chances away. She scores the more difficult ones. But I'm just looking over as well, it looks like Grace Clinton is getting stripped and ready, so another change imminent for England.
Thank you very much, Courtney. Courtney's going to speak to Serena Piedman after the game. Win or lose, if it is to be a victory, it will taste so sweet for England. If it's to be a defeat, it will be maybe the most crushing of all in the circumstances. Spain went ahead through Caldente a long time ago, that 25th minute opener. Russo's headed equaliser for England. Temporarily down to 10. Stanway's off the field and Clinton isn't ready to come on yet. How can that be? Forward go England down the right. Hemp chasing, Wahabi trying to snap back at her. Hemp gets the touch, Wahabi back. Corner. The assistant there, I thought was going to give a goal kick and then changed her mind. It's a corner to England. 1-1 with 5.5 minutes of extra time to go.
Yeah, Yeah, it is. There's a corner. Lauren Hemp, for me, has been brilliant. To have missed 5 months of the season and to come in and play back-to-back 120 minutes and still, every time she gets the ball, wanting to go 1v1, wanting to be direct, she really has been their standout player and tried to make some positive things happen.
Here comes the corner. It was a corner in extra time that led to the England winner against Germany 3 years ago. 1-1 against Spain in Basel. 116th minute. Corner driven in by Kelly. We're going to have take 2. The referee saw something she didn't like. I think that's Clinton who's gone straight in front of the goalkeeper with Bonmati. So the corner's going to be taken again. Oh, what a moment this could be in the history, the annals of English football. Spain fans on their feet behind the goal. It is a corner to the Lionesses. 4.5 minutes to go. Chloe Kelly drills it in high. Katakoy is there, and the referee gives a free kick to Spain anyway. Just for a second, the way she pointed, Tashtawi, thought she'd give England the penalty for a moment.
I think wishful thinking. I think that's what we all want. It's a shame the corner isn't up to Chloe Kelly's standards. Don't know what the referee's calling for there, but it looks like it's going back.
Well, Giharo and Charles in the box, free kick given. Both seemed at it, looking at the replay on our monitor. Free kick to Spain. 3.5 minutes of extra time to go. 1-1 on TalkSport. The final, the Euro 2025 final, is heading for penalties. England's penalty record, not great in terms of spot kicks they have taken, but the one shootout they have had, they came through against Sweden in the quarters, remember. Still, extra time goes on. Pina for Spain, Bonmati, wide left, Wahhabi's cross, overhit is it, Vicky Lopez downward header, Hampton's there. Thought Vicky Lopez wasn't going to get to it, but Hampton did.
I don't think I can take much of this anymore. It's a good ball. But Hampton, she's on her toes. It's good, safe hands. I think both teams, we talked about subs being the different makers for so many of the games. I think for both teams, the subs haven't been able to have the impact that they would have liked to have had.
This is agonising watching for England fans and no doubt for Spain supporters as well. Brilliant game, 1-1. 2.5 minutes of extra time to go. England on the back foot again. Greenwood's header away. The ball bounces down for Clinton. Shrugs aside Bonmati. Feeds him. Now back to Charles in the right back area. Charles to Williamson. Williamson drives the ball forward. It's deflected into the path of Adjemang. She's held it up well. Back to Clinton. England would do well just to slow it down. Just over 2 minutes of extra time remain. And then penalties to come. Adjemang, was she fouled by Paredes? No. The referee has stopped it. Free kick goes the way of the Spanish skipper. Adjemang is laughing. Hands to her head. She can't believe the decision of referee Frappa, and she's been blocked off by Paredes there, Tashtawi.
No, it's poor. It's such poor refereeing there. It's a foul absolutely the other way. It's on Adjemang, and I don't like that. Just because she's more of a physical presence, that shouldn't mean that goes against her.
Caldente driving through the middle. Paralluelo inside left. Carter's across. It'll be controversial if Spain score here. 90 seconds of extra time to play. 1-1. Spain seek a late winner. Caldente, left corner of the box, blocked off the pass by Kira Walsh. Refereeing at this tournament hasn't been great. And Stephanie Frappart should be relieved, I think, if she sees that decision back again. That it came to nothing in the end.
Yeah, Lucy Bronze is going mad. She's got off the bench and she's pointing to the referee, telling them where the throw is.
England heroes from the past everywhere you look, but is that going to be enough against this Spain team? A minute of extra time to play. England won, Spain won. Penalties on the way in Basel. Spain have it with Thatcher. Back to Vicky Lopez. Vicky Lopez now towards Giharo, intercepted by Kelly. Vicky Lopez caught by Kelly. Game continues. Play goes on. Alexandra Caldente. England with all the white shirts behind the ball. Caldente 25 yards down. They've got two over. In the area is Bonmati. She's spun and turned, and then Kelly pokes it away on the stretch. England will take penalties now, hanging on at the end of extra time. Can't believe it. Well, the team would take penalties, but England, I think, would here. Spain have dominated the 30 extra minutes. They haven't found a way through yet. 15 seconds of extra time remain. Adjemang hauled down, surely. And that is an England free kick. That is probably bad.
I still think there's going to be one more moment, Joe. I really do.
Oh, you could be right. 2 added minutes at the end of extra time. Well, Hannah Hampton will launch this long. One flick, maybe. Somebody running on to the end of it. There is still something in this for England. 1-1 at the very end of extra time. Added time in extras. Hampton clatters it downfield. Adjemang goes up, kicks it on. Can Mead get there? Out comes Kata Coy. Oh, there are England fans on their feet there. People in the commentary box on their feet. Mead was nearly through. Kata Coy was out. Tashdawi.
Oh, inches away. It honestly was. It was the flick that you called, Joe, and Mead gambled well. It was just inches. It's good defending there by the Spanish defender.
Caldente on halfway. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. The tension could hardly be higher. Bonmati, dead ball line. Oh, that's a double deflection goal kick. Brilliant from Carter. Carter outstanding tonight in an England shirt. When you think about what she's had to go through, things that are far more important and resonant than any football match. What a performance tonight.
I love it. I love the celebration as well. The fist pump, the scream. She's jogging up, telling everyone to get up after 120 minutes. Yeah, she looks seriously pumped and she's had a great game today.
40 seconds of added time remain in extra time. Hannah Hampton clears downfield. Adjemang trying to flick it on. Spain headed away through Guijarro. The flick by Vicky Lopez. England got to be careful. Thatcher down the right. This is the last chance. Greenwood coming across. Thatcher down the right for Spain. Back to Vicky Lopez. Back to Thatcher. Held up by Greenwood. Bonmati edge of the box. Adjemang trying to get the right side. Had to stretch. Guijarro squeezed it right. Thatcher attacking defence. England everybody back. Thatcher again. We've had the 2 added minutes. The cross is blocked. And Stephanie Frappart blows the final whistle. And the Euro 2025 final. And England's destiny at this tournament will be decided by penalty kicks. England have won all 3 of their shootouts under Sarina Wiegman, but will her moving, as she's called this tournament, have a happy ending? It finishes after extra time with penalties next. England won, Spain won. Darkening skies overhead and the floodlights ever more prominent now. The first to break from the line is England's Beth Mead, who missed a penalty against Sweden in the quarter-finals, but so often has been an England hero at major tournaments in the past. These are, by definition, pressure penalties. The England squad and staff, the subs, and those who didn't get on, link arms down in front of us. Sarina Wiegman standing, hands in her pockets to the edge of the area. Mead, it will be a short run-up in front of the England fans. The first penalty in the shootout. She stumbles and scores. She slipped and it went down the middle and in. Now Spain are suggesting that this could be retaken, but I think there was only one touch on it from Mead.
I mean, that's when you know your luck's with you. I mean, it did look like there was only one touch, so I don't see this being well, it looks like
She's
it's
going
being
to take
retaken.
it again. Unbelievable drama. When you think you've seen it all with these Lionesses at these Euros, always think again. Mead will have to retake her penalty kick. There was a double touch as she stumbled. She's going to go for the same short runner. The first penalty of the shootout. Mead, it's tipped over! Kata Coy with a flying save. It didn't look convincing. England miss their first penalty.
She changes her mind, Joe. She went the other way for the first one, has had to retake it, and she's changed her mind, and she's just smashed it. There's not much thought in that. It's a good save though by the keeper.
Here come Spain with Patri Guijarro. Only had one ever shootout at the European Championship, Spain. They lost it to Austria in the quarters in 2017. Patri Guijarro of Barcelona, after England missed their first spot kick. Hannah Hampton, 2 saves in the quarters against Sweden. England need their goalkeeper here. The England fans, all in white, trying to put off Guijarro, right-footed, and sends Hampton the wrong way. She dived to her left. Guijarro's penalty, near enough of the middle. Alex Greenwood next to take for England, but it's Spain who lead 1-0 in the shootout.
Yeah, cool, calm. She's gone down the middle. It is a gamble, but she can see that Hannah Hampton's gone early to her left, and she's just gone straight down the middle. Big pressure on Greenwood.
Alex Greenwood, who just like Beth Mead, missed a penalty against the Swedes in the quarters. That crazy shootout that England won 3-2. The weight of a nation on her shoulders. Usually got a great left foot. It was a tame penalty against Sweden. She knows it's going to have to be much better to beat the Spain goalkeeper, Kata Coy, from 12 yards. Greenwood left-footed, drills it into the corner. Goalkeeper went the right way, couldn't keep it out. 1-1 in the shootout, but of course England have taken one more penalty than Spain.
Yeah, they have. It's a good penalty. I wouldn't say it's bottom corner. I'm actually questioning whether or not the keeper could get a hand, but hit the target.
Here comes Caldente of Arsenal, the WSL player of last year, a Champions League winner with Arsenal, against Chelsea and England number 1 Hannah Hampton. 1-1 in the shootout. Spain's second penalty. Will they go in front, or can Hampton get England back in it? Caldente, saved by Hampton! Turns it away, left-handed. Another penalty stop from England's number 1, a hero, and we're level, 1 apiece after 2 penalties.
Yeah, she knows her. She's played against her many a times, and she's read it. She's read it well, and it's a great save. Well done.
Next up is England's Lee Charles. Right foot, left foot, who knows? We'll see very shortly. It's going to be a right-footed effort from Lee Charles. Hands on hips. This to put England in front in the shootout, and she does! Kata Coy goes the wrong way. Nerveless from Neve, and England lead it 2-1.
I love that. Yeah, it's hardly had any minutes, but has stepped up, and that's probably one of the best penalties so far, and you can see the celebration from the bench, just how much that meant to them, and how impressed they were with that penalty by Neve Charles.
England 2, Spain 1 in the shootout of Euro 2025 as the sun sets in Basel, live on TalkSport. In red, this is Bonmati. Technique unquestionable, but even for her, in a situation like this, how does she cope with the pressure? Hampton hopping up and down on her line. Bonmati right-footed. Hampton saves again. Hannah Hampton, you are one of the greats. This time she dives to her right, and she has saved 2 penalties in the shootout. Bonmati thwarted, and here comes the England skipper, Leah Williamson.
I mean, you talk about technique, and it failed her there. Hannah Hampton reads it so well. It's a good save, but it's a good height. It's looking like it's England's show.
Well, this would give them match point. The captain, the number 6, such an iconic number in England history. Leah Williamson from 12 yards. This for a 3-1 lead. Oh no! Kata Coy has tipped it away. And it's back in the balance again. Perhaps here, England's 4th penalty. Williamson is denied. England still lead 2-1, but Spain can level it through Caranuelo next.
It's a big hand by Coy. It's a great save. I actually think it's a decent penalty by Leah Williamson. It's high in the corner, but Coy just gets a strong hand and tips it over.
Caranuelo missed a flurry of chances in extra time. Can she score from the spot? Hampton comes Chloe Kelly. Oh, you couldn't have written it better. Chloe Kelly with the chance to win the Euros for England.
She's going to do it. She's going to do it.
Paralluelo misses. This is England's 5th penalty. Oh, I hope it's the last one. England's European dreams could be about to come true again. It's Chloe Kelly who won the final in extra time against Germany in 2022. Kelly from 12 yards to make England champions again against Katakoi. Hop, skip, jump. Oh my goodness, what a penalty kick. You better believe it. Football is coming home again. These legendary Lionesses are the winners of Euro 2025, and once again Chloe Kelly is the hero. The first ever England senior team to win a tournament abroad. The first ever England senior team to retain their title. The defending champions, Queens of England again, Queens of Europe again, and we are so lucky to have them. Chloe Kelly with the penalty of her life, and the glory days of 2022 and 1966 have been repeated again. Another glass ceiling smashed by these incredible England players. The most successful England side of all time. Now there is no doubt. Sarina Wiegman has run onto the field of play. By hook or by crook, England have done it. And the manager has fallen in love with the country, with the English game. In Sarina, we will always trust. And the celebrations start. You can barely believe it. England fans jump up high into the air. Sarina Wiegman leads the celebrations. A day that will be remembered forever. A glory night for English football. We've all been dreaming again throughout Euro 2025. Only now the Lionesses' dreams have once again come true. It finished 1-1 after extra time. England win it 3-1 on penalties. England are the winners of Euro 2025, and we really have never had it so good.